appreciate the call. The WBBM Mercedes-Benz of Oakland Estates traffic tip line 855-780 Road. Eastbound traffic remains heavy from past US 30 to before LaGrange Road. Earlier crash now gone. On the expressway, starting with the Edens coming in about 33 minutes. The Kennedy inbounds 1 hour and 45 out to O'Hare. On the Eisenhower inbound, an hour 13 from I-90 into downtown to get back out to the Jane Addams, an hour 8. Stevenson going out 1 hour to 3:55, 43 minutes inbound. The Dan Ride's about a half hour out and 23 in from the merge. Next traffic report, 4:08, News Radio 105.9, WBBM.
Nice rest of the afternoon. Sunshine, some clouds, high 73. Clear, comfortable tonight, and down below near 55. Right now, partly sunny, 72 degrees in Chicago.
Keep moving.
Breaking news
right?
at any time. This is Chicago's news traffic and weather station. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Coming up in the next half hour on News Radio WBBM, local leaders and activists call for a new city department of gun violence reduction in Chicago. Another victim identified in a mass shooting over the weekend in the Southside Roseland neighborhood.
I thought they said crime was down.
Crime is down, we are saying.
The lowest in 60 years. 60 years lowest.
Sports Cubs take on the Mets.
Since 1966.
It said 60 years, the lowest crime.
And then why the 100-something million we need to spend?
Because he needs to get elected. That's to pay his workers.
Oh, give it away.
Clouds the rest of the afternoon, high 73, clear, comfortable tonight, low 55, 72 degrees now. ABC News at 4 o'clock.
From ABC News. Davis anchor crime streaming weeknights on ABC News Live. Peace negotiations between the U.S. and Iran remain fragile, but both sides say progress was made on the first round of talks. The U.S. government also issued a 60-day waiver for sanctions on Iranian oil, and talks now shift to Iran's nuclear program.
Vice President Vance announced in Switzerland earlier Monday that Iran agreed to let international nuclear inspectors into the country. Now President Trump is weighing in, writing on social media that Iran will have to, quote, agree to have major weapons inspections in order to ensure nuclear honesty long into the future. Inspections were included in the nuclear agreement reached with Iran during the Obama administration in 2015. President Trump pulled the U.S. out of that during his first term, and Iran then began limiting inspections. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
More fallout over the multi-million-dollar renovation of the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. In addition to an algae problem, President Trump, without evidence, is blaming vandalism for the peeling blue paint. He says repairs will begin this week. Powerhouse producer and record executive Clive Davis has died. He's credited with discovering and nurturing some of the biggest musical icons of the past 60 years. ABC's David Packer has more.
Clive Davis was once dubbed the music executive with the Midas touch for finding talent during his time at CBS Records and then with his own company, Arista Records. In a 2013 interview, Davis talked about his greatest find, Whitney Houston.
We had 7 number ones everywhere. The first album sold 22 million around the world.
Davis's catalog of artists, besides Houston, include Aretha Franklin, Earth, Wind & Fire, Barry Manilow, Billy Joel, and Jennifer Hudson. Clive Davis was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2000 in the non-performance category.
Bruce Springsteen says Davis changed his life at the age of 22, signing him to Columbia Records. The boss called Davis a great man. Clive Davis was 94. His family says he died from age-related illness. You're listening to ABC News.
I can't raise my arms, I can't climb stairs, I can't kneel down. That means I can't play with the kids or grandkids, golf with my friends, get through a work day without exhausting pain. Cisco Cotto here. If that sounds like you, I'm here to tell you something you can do. You can contact QC Kinetics. You heard me talk about Dr. Caravelli and her medical team at QC Kinetics. So many people have been through their game-changing regenerative treatments, done right in the office, no
That's
surgery,
that guy
no
causing
downtime,
this trouble.
This one
just
too.
inflammation,
That one right there.
calming down,
This one
pain,
too.
backing
Look at
off.
this
It
guy,
sounds
because that's the
I know.
boss
I
lane.
love hearing from you how
I know about
QC
those.
Kinetics helped
That
you
one
dig
too.
out
Another
from
one.
under that long list of cans and into your best life. The consultation is absolutely free. You have nothing to lose except that pain. They even have weekend appointments. Call today. Get yours set up. 312-697-1119. 312-697-1119.
Got everything? You got your phone?
312-697-1119.
Double check.
Yeah.
All right.
News, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 105.9 and WBBM.
What's up, James? What do you know? Let's listen to this $100 million crime is down. We need money.
22nd of June. Good
What's
afternoon.
up,
Thanks so much
Stevie?
for joining us today. I'm Andy.
We need
Dillon.
$100 million. Crime is
Lots
down.
of sunshine right now in the Chicago area. 72 degrees.
That's
a pretty nice.
It's just like Animal
sunshine,
Farm.
couple clouds.
Just like Animal Farm. Read the book.
Staying nice for this evening. Clear skies, very comfortable. A low near 55 degrees. Looking like another nice day tomorrow before the chance of some heavy storms on Wednesday in the area. We will have the complete 5-day forecast for you coming up at 4:15. Our top local story here on News Radio WBBM following another violent weekend in the city of Chicago. A coalition of anti-violence advocates say the city needs to do better. WBBM's Terry Keshner with the story.
Community leaders and politicians gathered on the third floor at City Hall, saying Chicago needs a Department of Gun Violence Prevention. Far South Side Alderman Ronnie Mosley.
Violence reduction cannot be treated as a temporary initiative dependent upon grants and changing priorities or political cycles. It must become a permanent commitment by government.
Artenise Myrick is deputy director with Live Free Illinois.
Our goal for this is at least $100 million towards the office through coordination of all the public safety funds that are here already.
Those pushing for the Department of Gun Violence Prevention hope City Council will approve creation of the department in the coming months. Terry Keshner, News
What's
Radio
up,
1059
Drina?
WBBM.
Chicago police now say a mass shooting in the Roseland neighborhood Friday night left 14 people injured, not 12 or 13, which was previously thought.
Liars.
The latest victim, identified as a 19-year-old woman, shot in the backside and self-transported to the University of Chicago Hospital. The shooting happened near West 95th Street and South Princeton Avenue just after 11 o'clock Friday night. Investigators believe a red SUV pulled up alongside a large crowd. 2 people inside opened fire, then left the area. Debates growing in Northwest Indiana over taxes that could help fund a new Chicago Bears stadium in Hammond.
The competition for the Chicago Bears' next stadium is heating up on both sides of the state line. Indiana Capital Chronicle reports Porter County leaders are divided over a funding plan that would generate more than $1 billion for a proposed stadium in Hammond through new admissions, hotel and food and beverage taxes, along with revenue tied to a recent Indiana toll road agreement. Supporters say the project would bring jobs and tourism, while critics question using taxpayer dollars to support a professional sports franchise. Meanwhile, Politico reports new Illinois proposals are emerging, with McCook and Chicago's southeast side joining Arlington Heights and the lakefront as potential stadium sites. Governor J.B. Pritzker says there will be no special legislative session
They
until
revised
the
the
deal is
number
ready.
up to
Mary
14
Vorwerk,
victims of the
News
mass
Radio
shooting on
1059
95th Street.
WBBM.
New efforts now underway to clear the name of a man convicted in one of Illinois' most infamous murder cases.
Attorneys for Chester Weger are asking Governor Pritzker to grant a posthumous pardon nearly a year after the convicted Starved Rock killer died at the age of 86. Weger confessed to the 1960 killings of 3 women at Starved Rock State Park, but was only convicted in one of those murders. He later claimed the confession was coerced and maintained his innocence for decades. His attorney now argues the killings were part of a murder-for-hire plot and has filed a petition with the Illinois Prisoner Review Board seeking to clear Weger's name. Rachel Pearson, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
A screw-up at the pump meant costly repairs for 24 village trucks in far northwest suburban Lake in the Hills.
A supplier pumped fuel into the wrong tank at the Public Works Department in November, according to Director Ryan McDillan. Minutes from a Lake in the Hills board meeting in February show trustees approved more than $320,000 for unexpected repairs to 24 trucks that had used the contaminated fuel, causing problems. As first reported by Lake and McHenry County Scanner, the village notified the vendor, Avalon Petroleum, and began draining and replacing the fuel, which avoided a catastrophic failure in its fleet of snowplows. The news site reports the supplier and its insurance company have agreed to reimburse the village for the damage. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
An online auction supporting a public sculpture collection in the village south of Chicago is now live.
Money raised from the Flossmoor Public Art Commission's Garden Art and More online auction will support rotational programs, the acquisition of permanent pieces, and maintenance of sculptures as needed. There's a wide array of items to bid on, from a custom portrait of your child or pet to art experiences, like a tour of the sculpture park at Governor State University. The auction runs through July 10th, and you can find more information at artflossmoor.com. Haley Hansen, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
Tomorrow 8th, traffic and weather together on the 8th now, and not looking like a good time on the tollways, Neil Fiorito.
No, the tri-state really heavy. Northbound from the Bishop Ford before Halstead, a stalled semi sitting in the left lane. Troubles on the Jane Addams Tollway. Now a delay building westbound passing Randall Road. That is a crash blocking your right lane. Route 53, roadwork delays northbound from the Jane Addams to Kirchhoff and southbound between Palatine Road and Algonquin Road. I-80 on the westbound side slowing from Humboldt to past I-55 in the southwest suburbs. A stalled semi we had there now gone. Eastbound traffic along I-80 from Center to before Chicago Street and right around 355 that is. Looking at northwest Indiana, some backups on 8094 westbound in spots from Central onto the Tri-State. Eastbound delays here and there from the Bishop Ford all the way to Broadway. Expressways at Eden's outbound good, just 15 to Lake Cook Road. Heavy traffic coming in from Toohey to the Kennedy. 33 inbound from Lake Cook Road. On the Kennedy, as you make your way outbound, 27 to Montrose. The express lane's about the same. They are heavy passing the Windrush mural and New North Avenue out to the Edens. Getting out to the airport on the Kennedy, 45 minutes and 1 hour in. Eisenhower inbound, an hour 13 from I-90 into the Jane Byrne interchange. 45 if you're coming in from Manheim Road. Outbound's 45 as well to Manheim, an hour 8 to the Jane Addams Tollway. Stevenson going out, 34 to 46 to the Tri-State, an hour 3 to 355 and 50 minutes in. The Dan Ryan going out 31, 22 in from the merge into downtown. From the Metro Traffic Center, next report 418 News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Back here with the forecast for the rest of the afternoon. Nice day, sunshine, couple clouds on 73. Clear skies, comfortable for tonight. A low near 55. A bit cool tomorrow, but still nice for late June. Sunshine, couple clouds, high 74. Partly cloudy for tomorrow evening, a low near 60. And we could see some heavy showers and thunderstorms in the area on Wednesday. Highs close to 80 in the afternoon. Mostly sunny right now, 72 degrees on Midway, 66 along the lakefront. Markets mixed today. The Dow adding 148 points. The Nasdaq dropped 351. The S&P 500 fell 28 points. It's 410.
If you look at online reviews for most roofing companies, it is...
As they said on the radio, it is 410. You're watching SubX.News on the spot reporting. We're live coming to you from Streeterville right now. That's where we start off, and then we haven't figured out where to go. We'll listen to some crimes. I really appreciate Drina Ross watching. I love Detroit. Detroit is one of my favorite cities. If I was 30 years younger, I'd be living in Detroit, but I have a family, and the last time I was there, I really wanted to live there, but we were at 3 kids, I think, or 4 kids. I don't know how many kids I had when we were in Detroit. That was about 20 years ago. Oh, I loved it so much. Oh, it's such a great city. It's so beautiful. You've never been to Detroit, go there. You might not like how some of it looks, but that's just the way I am. I really love Detroit. I appreciate you watching. And if you got any questions, I'm sure Drina will tell you all about what happens when you have a little bit of corruption, you have a little bit of a bad economy, and you have a lot of crime. What happens to a city? She could probably tell you. But you know what? If you have some good people that live in the town, if you have good reporters, a really good reporter is Charlie LaDuff. He wrote about the decline of Detroit about 15 years ago. He talked about all the corruption and mismanagement of money, priorities, and all these things. And if you want to watch, it's the No BS News. He's on Facebook. He's on, I don't know if he's on Twitter. Charlie LaDuff. Really good city. Detroit's a great city. Appreciate you watching. I appreciate you watching. You understand the struggles that we're going through if you're from Detroit. It's not easy. And you still got to live, you still got to raise your families, and you still got to try to be positive, because if you keep going negative, it gets to your brain, and sometimes it gets there. But we got to stick together. And it doesn't matter if it's Chicago, Detroit, LA, New York, Dallas, Kansas City, Seattle, Portland, you know what I mean? Miami, San Francisco, none of that matters. New Jersey, Kennington, Boston, you name it. Philly, Birmingham, Memphis, Tennessee. They had a bombing down there in Nashville, didn't they? Did they ever tell us what happened with that bombing in Nashville? Remember that bombing on Christmas? Think about this. Think about this. We had a dude that blew up a camper in the middle of Nashville on Christmas. Remember that one? Wasn't that Christmas? Something like that, Christmas or New Year's? Did they ever tell us whatever happened? Did they ever tell us how he did that? How about the killing down in New Orleans? Wasn't that last year? Wasn't that last year in New Orleans? The guy with the machine gun, Allah Akbar, he was shooting everybody? How'd that happen? Did they ever tell us what happens? You know, I talk a lot about Chicago, right? But think about it. Do they tell us anything about these things? What was it? What was it? Gang related? What was it? And what's this? Remember when they did the 9/11 and they told us, oh, those guys came here, right? Remember 9/11 attackers? How they came here, they came on student visas or something, and they were doing the pilot's license and all that. And they did all these pilots and all of this, and then what did they do? They ended up doing a terrorist attack. Well, are we getting... Think about it. We're how far from 9/11? When did that happen? A long time ago, didn't it? Right? Didn't that happen a long time ago? So, why aren't we like that way? Why aren't we talking about crime or the economy or anything that happens and start giving us, the public, the information? Well, we know with me, they locked me up and I had to go to court today. Now, I tried to get my case dismissed and the judge says no. So, okay. I said, I don't know. I think I'm a reporter. That's my First Amendment rights. The dude arrested me. He goes, you can't have a... This is what the judge said in court today. He goes, you can't ask for a motion to dismiss because we're not in the court yet. The facts. I said, well, here's my package. Read what I wrote. I wrote that it's my First Amendment rights, and he violated them. He goes, you can only argue First Amendment rights, and that's what I had written in my papers. The judge didn't take my papers. He says, I said, I want to put in a motion to dismiss. He goes, what's the word he used? There's the word that judges use. Denied. Your motion to dismiss is denied. I said, okay. I didn't argue with the guy because you're in front of a judge. He's the judge. You're not a judge, right? You're there listening, right? And I said, hey, I got this package of papers I want to give you and dismiss this case because it shouldn't have even got here, right? Because I'm a reporter. And the judge says, no, you're going to go to court. I'm like, okay, I guess. So the point I tried to say that story there is what? At this point in time, in 2026, shouldn't we have more information? You know, somebody sent me this thing. That 95th Street mass shooting was retaliation from the... I keep forgetting her name, and I don't mean to mispronounce her name. I apologize, young lady. I don't mean... So, I got a tip that Risky Bands, the guy that got shot on 95th Street, his crew was the one that did... let me get her name. I don't want to mispronounce her name, because she comes from the school I used to teach at. Hyde Park, right? Let me get her name. Mellow Bucks. So the Mellow Bucks mass shooting during, when was that, 25? Or was that 24? The worst mass shooting in Chicago's history. The amount of people. Valentine's Day Massacre has the most dead. That's still the number one in Chicago. The most dead is in Chicago is St. Valentine's Day Massacre, but the most people shot in one incident is the Mellow Bucks mass shooting on Chicago Avenue at her rap party. And now they're saying she just got arrested. By the way, we got that story just broke. That just broke by Fox News. She just got arrested, and it's related to the mass shooting. She had an illegal gun or something in her car. It's weird. How do you wait that long to arrest her? It's kind of strange. I got some other things to talk about, too. And then, what did I say? I forget. I can't remember all these names. I'm getting old. I can barely remember my kids' names. I got 4 kids, and I can barely remember their name. And then, Risky Bands. So, Risky Bands crew. I don't know if that's his name. That's his crew's name. Oh, Risky Bands. That's the guy that got shot down on 95th Street. That's the guy's white shoes. That's what they said. They said, those white shoes. Remember the video I took that morning of the crime scene where the police left the bullets there? Everybody's seen that video, right? Go look at my video. I was there. The cops left, right? I said, is the crime scene open? They said, yeah. I said, how many people shot? And she just looks at me and drives off, right? Well, now we know it wasn't 10, it wasn't 11, it wasn't 12, it was 14. So the Chicago police have been lying since Friday. Why? To keep the numbers down. Today, they just announced 14 victims in a mass shooting. So the guys, those white shoes that were there, I think they were Nikes, right? You know which ones, right? Because you remember, I showed you guys there was an ID left by the cops. They're on top of it. So a lady who got shot, her ID was on the ground. And then I found the gold chain. And then I seen the white gym shoes. Somebody said, dude, you got to see those bullets over there. I said, what bullets? They go, look right there, right past the shoes there, those white shoes. Where the blood was. There was blood spilled there. That was his blood. That was Risky Band's blood. I think those white shoes were Risky Band's shoes. I don't know if they were. I don't know if they were. So I looked around and there was bullet casings all over. There's 9mm bullet casings. But the bullet casings on 95th Street were rifle rounds. So that must have been him shooting back at them. But they weren't picked up by the Chicago police. So here's what I'm trying to say here. They're not telling us the whole story here. First of all, they didn't tell us how many victims, right? So they lied. The police lied. The police lied. First, they're not telling us what it was this related to. First of all, no one reported that it was Juneteenth. That was a Juneteenth celebration. I was down there. They had fireworks, they had a barbecue, they had everything there. It was a Juneteenth celebration. Whatever it was, it was. And then a car comes up, machine guns these people. There was at least 3 shooters in the car, or 2. They were not knowing what they were. There's all kinds of pod cameras there. There's pod cameras right in that area. So we don't know who did this stuff, right? And now we're hearing from the back feed is that it was a retaliation hit against what? Buzz. And the cops ain't saying nothing. 0. Oh, it's a random act of violence. A random act of violence. So in one case, you got 20 shot. In the next case, you got 14 shots. So in 2 incidents that might be connected, you have 34 people shot. 34 in 2 instances that are sounding like they're connected. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just blowing smoke up my butthole. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm not connected to the gangs. I ain't connected to the cops. I'm a news guy. I ain't connected to nobody. I'm my own guy. I don't want to be connected. Because if I'm connected, then what? You can be biased. And I don't want to be biased, right? There you go, man. Plywood Special. You see that over there? See that store over there? That used to be a nice place to go get food in there. It's all closed down. Michigan Avenue. So think about it. 2 shootings. 2 shootings. 95th Street. Juneteenth 2026. And Mellow Buzz. When was Mellow Buzz shooting? Let's see, when was that shooting? Does everybody remember that? Was that last year or 2 years ago? Mellow Bucks. That's her name, right? Because she went to Hyde Park. That's where I used to teach, right? Mellow. I should call her up. Maybe she'll give me Mellow Bucks, right? Shooting, right? Let's see when that happened, right? I put it into Google, right? River North, 25. It happened last year. 18 shot, 4 dead. So that's what? 22? And then Friday was 14. Right? So what is that? 14 and 22. Who's good at math? That's 36 people shot in 2 incidences. Even if they're not connected, let's just say they're not connected. Forget it. So last year, the biggest mass shooting was what? That one. Mellow Buzz. Right? What did I just say? 22, right? Or 21? I'm looking at that these damn Fox News and stuff. They lie too, some of these guys. They don't have the right stuff on here, right? Let's see. I'll use another phone. Some of this stuff lies. Mellow Buzz mass shooting. AI mode. Mellow Bucks. 18 total. See, I have something else that says 18. Alright, so it is 18. It's 14 shot. It's 18 shot, 4 dead. So it's 18 total. So we have 18 total at Mellow Bucks. And then we have Friday at Risky Bands. We have 14. So we have 14 and 18, right? That's what? 32 people in 2 incidences. Last year's biggest mass shooting and this year's biggest mass shooting. We have 32 people in 2 instances. And they're talking about what? What didn't they say? It's the lowest crime rate in 60 years. Didn't he say that, the mayor? And now all of a sudden, think about this. Think about this. The Monday after a mass shooting, all of a sudden they have a proposal for $100 million new department, the city department. How did that happen over the weekend? Aren't you mourning the crimes? You know, there was about 7 people that were murdered over the weekend. There's about 40 to 45 victims over the week. So you're telling me over this weekend, someone actually sat down and wrote up, let's make a new department of gun violence in the city, and we need $100 million for that. Like, huh? How'd that happen? You know why that happened? Because that was the teachers union doing that. That was the teachers union through Brandon Johnson. That's how, look, that's how we used to do it. I used to work at the union. I worked at the union since 2010. I was the first employee there, July 1st, 2010. I was the first employee, full-time employee at the Chicago Teachers Union. When Karen Lewis got elected, I was the first one. First one hired by Jesse Sharkey at midnight. First one hired. I've been there since the beginning. They got rid of me after Stacey and Brandon started getting power because I said they were doing illegal political activity. So when something happened, like a school closing or a bad thing or lead pipes or whatever happened, we would have the legislation written, or either already or we would write it as it happened. So that's how I know this is the teachers union doing this. So over the weekend, they did what? They wrote up some political talking points and they said, look, we need $100 million. And they've been thinking about this for a while. It didn't come from this weekend. And then once the event happens, like this, unfortunately, they publish it. So this is the thing. Now we need to do a FOIA request between all these people who did the announcement. The aldermen, the preachers, and all this. And what? Brandon Johnson, and this is the guy you got to look for. Jason Lee. You got to FOIA request Jason Lee, and there might be somebody else in there. This guy's, I don't know what he's talking about right there. See that guy right there? He's talking some stuff over there. See that? So, what you got to do now is say, wait, how did you come up with this idea for $100 million all of a sudden in a new department for gun violence? Which is weird because you got a police department. So what, it's going to be anti-police? What is it? It's a weird thing. Well, no, because they waited for this to happen, and once it happened, then they passed it. That's what they do. There you go, man. How many people you got standing? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You got 7 dudes hanging out at the 7-Eleven. That must be a good 7-Eleven to make money at over there, huh? There you go, man. 7 dudes standing at the 7-Eleven. You see that? So think about it. You have this whole idea that you want $100 million to set up a whole new department. So you wait till there's a mass shooting to then put it out there. So how sick of a human being you must be to want to have a negative event so that you can promulgate a new department for $100 million. Imagine how sick of a human being that is. That you're planning to publish something when a bad event happens, rather than trying to prevent the bad event to happen. You're hoping for a bad. Those are Mondos there. Those are migrants right there. See that there? Those are migrants. That's migrants there. That's your local dude on the trank over there. He's on that, whatever, that tranquilizer stuff, right? Then you got the local migrant lady exploiting her children on her cell phone there. They get shipped in from the suburbs to beg. Right there, see her right there? See the lady there? That's a migrant lady exploiting her children. See that there? She's on her phone. It's hot. She don't take care of her children. She puts them in the heat. So she uses them. She exploits her children for money. So that's what I got out of today's story, right? Today's story is this. that the people we have running our city hall, first of all, want to abolish the police and defund the police. Well, how do you do defund the police? You say, I need $100 million for gun violence prevention. Well, ain't that the police department? Wait up, I don't understand what you're talking about. Gun violence prevention, that's the police. Well, if you do $100 million for that, and then say 5 years down the road, you have a budget crunch that's even worse than we have now, then what would you say? Well, let's see, what are we going to decide between the people who voted for me? Because this is all going to go to what? Political patronage, right? Are we going to eliminate the department that votes for me, or are we going to eliminate the department, that's the police that I don't like? So which department do you think is going to get disappeared? The police department. This is defund the police. It's part of the abolish the police movement. It's well written. It's documented. I published a book. There's a book written about this about 15 years ago. It says how you do this. It even says utilize crime statistics, utilize blood, gore, and violence to what? You do desensitize and shock people. This is Naomi Klein, the shock doctrine. And when you shock people, they become shocked. They can't believe the violence, right? So what you do? Then you pass laws. What's up, Trina? Then you pass laws. What's up, Marietta? Then you pass laws and say, give me $100 million. That's how they do it. That's how it gets done. The first documented case was the Argentina neoliberalism out there, and then the second major case was the Aceh tsunami. I don't know if you guys remember that. Look up Aceh tsunami. What they did is this was a little island. It got wiped out by a tsunami or something, earthquake. Got wiped out. And it was a nice, islands are nice because they got everything there. You don't need to do nothing. You get the fruit, you get the fish, you have weather. You don't need jackets. You don't need clothes. You don't need heat. You don't need electric. You don't need nothing. You just relax and enjoy the island life. That's it. Aceh Archipelago, I think. That's how you pronounce it, right? And a big tsunami hit, wiped everything out. So what happened to this self-sufficient island that they had all the fruit? Man, these maniacs, man, what are they doing here, man? What's up, maniacal maniacs? Man, what are you doing, man? There you go. There's nobody here. It's 4:30 p.m., man. There's no one downtown Chicago. So what happened here in the tsunami, the Aceh tsunami, they took all the resources of the people. And think about this. It's an island. It's surrounded by water, right? And in an island, you dig down for water, right? Because it desalinates. Everybody understands that concept, right? Or you have a lava rocks like in Hawaii. What you do is you drill down and you get fresh water. Why? Because the rocks and the sand, they filter the ocean water. It becomes clear. So these guys had everything. They had fruits, they had water, and they had seafood. They didn't have to do nothing else. After the tsunami, everything became privatized, and they took the people's land, kind of like Oprah Winfrey did after the fires on Maui. And they kind of took everything from the natives, and now they're charging them, right? So that's the shock doctrine. Read it, Naomi Klein. It's called Shock Doctrine, Disaster Capitalism. It's a really good book. And the reason I know this book is I studied the book. Do you know when I studied the book? When I was in the teachers union. Actually, when we were taking over the teachers union, we studied the book with a lady named Ginny Sims. She was from British Columbia. She's a communist, a Marxist communist. She came to Chicago to talk to us how to help us take over the union and how to control the government. And if you look at her trajectory, she was the same way as Stacey Dazovic Skates. She's the same as Karen Lewis. Unfortunately, Karen Lewis died. God rest her soul. I love that woman. We had a great conversations. I'll never talk about what we talked about because it was private, but maybe when I get older on my deathbed, I'll tell you guys what she told me about certain things, right? Yeah, I had private conversations with Karen Lewis in her office. That's how close I was, right? I had her phone number. We used to talk over things. She would call me and I would call her, right? I was working with her. I was one of the guys she trusted to do things, right? That's how close I was to Karen. I wasn't in that top tier of management. I was in another tier, right? Where when something happened in the union, she would call me and ask me, what's going on, John? And she would ask my advice, or she would ask me what the details were. She would tell me, John, they're telling me, this is what she would tell me. I'll tell you, this is what Karen Lewis used to ask me. She would call me, and this is related to Brandon Johnson. This is how I know how Brandon Johnson works. Because Brandon Johnson's group is the ones that killed Karen Lewis. They took advantage of her. There's documented proof of what they did to Karen Lewis. They didn't kill her physically, but they didn't support her when she was sick, and they aggravated her. And when you're under cancer and you get aggravated, it's hard to get cured, right? So that's what these guys did. Jackson Potter, Stacey Davis Gates, Carol Cariff, and Brandon Johnson wasn't that close to Karen. He was a nobody. Brandon Johnson was a nobody. He was not in the caliber of Karen Lewis. I don't know how much time she spent with him. I can't talk to that. I never seen Brandon in Karen's office. I'll tell you that. I worked there 11 years. I never remember seeing Brandon in Karen's office. I never seen him once in her office. I've seen Stacy once in a while. But, oh man, my wiper blades are no good. But the point I'm trying to say is this. We should listen to the radio, right? What's going on in the radio?
It's won $100 million for the Chicago Department of Gun Violence Prevention. They also want an ordinance to be filed before the City Council's August recess with hopes of a possible passage by October. 434, the Trump administration says progress is being made in negotiations with Iran.
So think about it. What did I just say? They want it done before October. Why? Because everybody's tired and they're scared about the violence. How are you going to get a passage of some kind of $100 million? So you're trying to pass a $100 million resolution by October. That's obscene. And we're broke. So, let me end with this, with me and Karen Lewis. Something would happen, whether it would be out of the union or in the union. Either one. Not all the time. She didn't call me all the time. I wasn't that wayward. I didn't bother Karen. That's not how I am. But when it was something big, whether it was external or internal, now let me close my window so you hear what I'm about to say. And some I'll really reveal one day and some I won't. Never will tell you what we talked about. That's just the way life goes. And you don't ever do that, right? You don't ever put out stuff that's personal. You kind of get what I'm trying to say here, right? So Karen would call me up, or she'd call me over the loudspeaker if I was doing something else, and she'd say, John Kugler needs to come to the president's office. Or she would call me at home on my cell phone. My wife can attest to this. I might have even the records of it, right? I pulled the records of when Karen used to call me. And Karen would say, if it was me doing something, she'd say, what the fuck are you doing, John? I said, what do you mean, Karen? She goes, I just got a call from, I'll tell you one case, from Forrest Claypool. I said, yeah, fuck him. This is when I was doing the lead cases. When they were poisoning the kids, they still are poisoning kids with lead in the schools. Forrest Claypool did it and he covered it up. I said, fuck him, Karen. He's an asshole. He fucks with kids, and he was a fucking bad guy. And she goes, John, you're doing this lead pipe stuff. And I said, yeah, they're poisoning black kids on the south side, and you know it. She goes, I know that, John. But we're trying to get this done. And I forget what it was, whether it's the contract or some other thing, right? I don't remember what it was now. I'd have to look at my notes. That's a long time ago already. Claypool, he was around. I don't know. I think they put him in somewhere in the system or something. That was before, I think that was before he became the, I don't know if that he went to the Park District that time. I gotta look up my notes, right? I wrote an article on this. I didn't write about what me and Karen talked about. And Karen said, you know what, John? We got to get this. And I forget what she told me what they're trying to get, right? They were trying to get something from it. And she goes, you're kind of fucking it up with this shit. Because he's complaining to me that you're fucking with him. I said, yeah, because he's an asshole. Forrest Claypool is an asshole. And then there was another guy, Marmer. Look up Marmer. They put him as the general counsel of Chicago Public School. He was doing side deals, and they found him illegally doing side deals with Claypool and CPS. They found him. They adjudicated this shit. That they were doing illegal fucking payments to each other. And I didn't know about that shit. I was looking at the lead pipe shit. Saying they were fucking around with the lead pipes. And Karen said, and that happened years later, that came out. And Karen said, you're fucking this shit up. You gotta stop. I said, Karen, no, he's fucking around with the kids. They're lying about the lead pipes. The lead is poisoning kids in the schools. And I'm not going to let this go, Karen. You know how I am. She goes, well, I'm your boss, and I'm telling you got to. I said, this is what we do. You tell them they wrote out a statement, they're going to fix so many schools, blah, 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 and then I'll lay off. She goes, okay, fine with me. But I'm still your boss. If I tell you not to do it, don't do it. I said, Karen, you know I can't do that. If they're fucking with people and they're harming, especially poor kids and in bad neighborhoods and poor neighborhoods, I can't let that go. She goes, I understand what you're saying, John. But I'm telling you, you got to lay this one off. But I'll give them a call, tell them you're going to lay off. And she told me this. I'll call them. You're going to lay off the lead pipes. And they're going to do this. I said, okay, I forget what deal we made. And you can look up my reporting on that. It's all documented. Look up John Kugler, lead pipes, Chicago Public Schools. And then look it up and see it automatically stopped all of a sudden. After that last article I did, that's when I had the phone call. It was in her office. It was at, I forget where we were at. I don't know if we were at the Merchandise Mart still, or we were already at the new office at 1901 Carroll. I gotta look all that stuff up. Look at that guy, man. That dude's yelling at people there, man. On the sidewalk right there. See him there? He's yelling at people. He's yelling at that lady over there. Let's see what we're gonna do. So that's how close I used to be to Karen Lewis. And the reason I tell you this whole story is I know how this thing operates. They had this whole idea for the $100 million already written, already done. It didn't happen over the weekend. But when the mass shooting happens, what they do, they take what they have written. They take what their ideas are. It's somewhere in the back burner, somewhere in a file, somewhere in a Google, whatever crap they use nowadays. And they say, look, and they have an emergency meeting. This was happening at the Union this weekend. And then it goes to the Brandon. Or I don't know, they might even have a Signal or some kind of WhatsApp app secret group and say, look, this is the time to ask for the $100 million. We'll send you the stuff. You make sure you get it to who? To the preachers. So that's the two things happened this weekend. There was a meeting of the heads between the teachers union, a few people, maybe Jackson, maybe Stacy. I don't know if she's that smart, but I know it was Jackson, that's for sure. It might have been Rebecca ain't that smart. I forget who's still up there. I don't know who's at the union anymore. I haven't been around. Hidalgo, man, that guy's an idiot. He's a rapist, man. He rapes girls or touches girls. He's allegedly to have inappropriate talks with girls. So sorry to mischaracterize with the guy that's running for president of the Chicago Board of Ed now, but he's got allegations against him. So I'll say it that way. He allegedly did that. It was unfounded. So he's not in the top tier of the decision makers. So someone had a meeting at the teachers union. They might have contacted somebody in the mayor's office, and they had a small group talk, but no more than 5 people. No more than 5. 3 to 5 max. From there, it expanded to the mayor's office. Some people were contacting the mayor's office, or they were already in that small group. So first it happens in a 3 to 5 person group, then it expands out to a 10-person group with the exact ideas I'm talking about. And it says, you need to send this out to our allies, the aldermen, the preachers, and whoever else out there, and we're going to promulgate this idea. And that's how you got to the news today. Because that idea was already written. The $100 million idea was already written. It didn't come out this weekend. That's how that happened. They waited for a massacre to happen. They waited for a mass shooting to happen to put out an idea, which is part of their defund the police idea, to take $100 million from policing and put it towards paying people what? To be, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know how you're going to be a violence interrupter when there's a gun involved. Are you going to get in front of the gun? What are you going to do? I have no idea how that looks, right? I don't have any idea how that looks. How do you prevent gun violence when you're not a cop? You kind of get what I'm trying to say here? What, now this is not the social workers? Is it the psychologists? Or who's the next level? Because we've been talking about psychologists, social workers, and violence interrupters. Now we're talking about anti-gun violence. So how do you prevent gun violence? Who does that? How do you prevent gun violence? Yeah, I'm quiet. I want to hear somebody answer that. How do you prevent gun violence? What's the name of the book? The name of the book is Shock doctrine, Naomi Klein. We read that, I don't know, almost, 2010. 16 years ago? I read that 20 years ago. We weren't even in the Union yet. We were not even in the Union yet. Naomi Klein, the shock doctrine, disaster capitalism. Read it. That's how this guy operates. Brandon Johnson operates. He was never part of the group that took over. He was not even around. He didn't come to 3 or 4 years later. He wasn't even around the 2012 strike. He was nowhere around. He was not around any of that stuff. I helped organize some of that stuff. My jurisdiction in the Union, when the 2012 strike happened, the big one. Remember that big strike? 2012, the big one. Not the other crap afterwards. The big strike we haven't had for a long time, 30 or 40 years. Since the 80s, right? I was in charge of downtown. This was my jurisdiction. I was in charge of downtown. I was in every planning meeting there ever was for the first strike. Every meeting, because I was in charge of downtown. I had to be there because I was in charge of all the stuff here. I was the guy. I was in charge of the strike, but I was in charge of downtown. So I had to be part of every discussion of what was going on every day. I'm going to be honest with you. Stacey Davis Gates was not in any one of those meetings. Neither was Brandon Johnson. Neither one of them was in any meeting. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe my mind is getting old. Maybe I need to go through my old emails and check. I do have all my old emails, by the way. And if you're listening, CTU and assholes, whoever spy on me, yes, I have every communication I ever had in the Chicago Teachers Union. I still have it today. I still have it today. I have it to this day. I have it. You won't find it. It's not on my computer. I have it somewhere else. You'll never find it. You can get a subpoena and search my house. You'll never find it. But I have every email I ever sent. Ever since I started working in Chicago Public Schools, which was 2004. I have every email I ever sent. Every email. How long is that? That's 22 years. I have every email I ever sent. One more time, I have every email I ever sent and received. Now, if you're listening, C2 and CPS, you keep playing your games with me. You keep playing. We haven't even started this thing. I want to be an old guy, man. I ain't got time for this stuff. But you want to play around, I'll publish everything, like WikiLeaks. I'll publish all the stuff, all the bad things you used to do. To the gays, the transes, what you used to talk about, the gangbangers. You should hear how they used to talk about black young kids in that union there. You should hear how they used to talk about them. Oh yeah, there were some nasty things that they used to do in that union. And what I used to do is take notes of the meeting and I'd send it to myself in an email. So that way it would be dated in time. So I got all of that kind of stuff. You know, I'm still a little loyal. I'm still a little foolish. You know, I maybe when I get older, or maybe I give it to my kids. I give my kids a jump drive where I got it hidden, off-site, off my house. My stuff ain't even in my house. One day when I die, there'll be a note written to my kids to say, look, find this jump drive. It's over there. Just send it to this person or these people, and they'll know what to do with it. It's all in there. You kind of get what I'm trying to say there? So the point I'm trying to make is this. What you're seeing today in the news was planned. At least a few weeks ago, if not this weekend, if not a year ago. And that's the shame of this, and that's why I'm saying this. And that's why I'm spending more time on this than listening to the crime right now. Because they know that they knew that the crime was going to go up. Why? Because they did nothing to stop the crime. They knew that. And they created the false sense of what? Crime is down by lying about it. So what happens? So when naturally the crime goes back up, then they say, okay, now we publish this, we need $100 million. And that's part of the defund the police movement and abolish the police in Chicago. That's a fact, right? That's why they did it. All right, what I'm going to do is be quiet because I'm talking too much. Yeah, you're right, Ms. Zidor. The other thing, you know how you prevent gun violence? You know how you prevent it? By giving people hope and opportunity. That's how you prevent it. You can never stop gun violence. If you take all the guns away, guess what you can have? You can have knife violence. You're going to have machete violence. That's what you're going to have. You know what they did in New Zealand? Or in Australia? I don't know which one it was. New Zealand or Australia. They banned machetes. Yeah, you had to turn in your machetes. They don't have guns in that society. They took all your guns away. So when they had a machete attack last year, a few months ago, You know what they did? They passed the law, now we're going to take away all of everybody's machetes. That's a jungle area. New Zealand's jungles. You need a machete to chop up the stuff, right? Machetes are good for palm trees. That's how you clean them. And the big fruits, right? The pineapples and the coconuts, you chop them up with a machete. That's what you do, and the big reeds. Machetes are a tool in that country. You know what they passed? Look it up. I don't know if it's New Zealand or Australia. One of those countries outlawed machetes. So gun violence, preventing guns and all of that stuff, taking away the peace doesn't help. It's what Ms. Zidore just said. You have to teach character. You have to give opportunity. You have to give hope. That's what you have to do. Some people might not like Reverend Jackson Sr. God rest his soul. I used to talk with him too. I like his message, right? Hope, keep hope alive. That's how you prevent things. When you give a young person or anybody, even in jail, like Nelson Mandela wrote in his books, in his one book that I read, I forget which one that was. He says, they can put me in prison, but they'll never take away my freedom. That's paraphrasing. That's Nelson Mandela. They can put me in prison, but they can never take away my freedom. That was Nelson Mandela. I'm pretty sure that's what he said. It's around the right way he said it. That's what he wrote in his book. So no matter where you're at, no matter what your situation is in life, the main thing is hope. And then the second thing, part of the hope, is what you got to have. You have to have some tools there, right? You got a little bit of education. You got to have some work. Maybe you have some good nutrition. Maybe you have some good housing. Maybe you have some of this. I'm not saying that's the root causes of crime, that if you're poor and you don't have nothing to eat, that you're a criminal, like Brandon Johnson says. Brandon Johnson says poor people are criminals. Listen to his speeches. Listen to Brandon Johnson's speeches. He says because people don't have money, they do crime, which is a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a neoliberal lie. The way you stop crime and gun violence, you give people hope, and then you give them the tools. You give them a little education. You give them some vocational skills if they want. You put them into college if they want. You put them in the military if they want, or you give them a job if they want. If they want to get out of high school and have a job and have a family, then that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Not no hocus pocus $100 million gun violence program. I ain't gonna do nothing. That's gonna do zero. That's what? That's a political patronage scam. He needs $100 million. What for? You know Brandon Johnson has no money. Alexi Junius has 18 million. Brandon Johnson, I don't think has $1 million in his bank account for his election. Everybody knows that story, right? So what do you do if you give Brandon Johnson $100 million and some preachers? Guess who gets reelected? Guess who gets reelected if you give a bunch of preachers $100 million? Guess who gets reelected? Brandon Johnson. You give a preacher $1 million, the preacher keeps $500,000 and gives the other $500,000 out to his parishioners, right? He does a couple of street captains, right? And there you go. Next one, next one, next one. Guess who gets reelected? Think Susan Mendoza has a chance against $100 million? You think Alexi Junius has a chance for $100 million competition? Absolutely not, man. When's the last time you seen Alexi Junius in a black neighborhood? Come on, man. He's over here. He's a Greek guy. We're going to Greek town over here. He might know a little bit about working. He knows a little about the mob, right? His family was mobbed up in his bank, right? They did mob dealings. So he knows a little bit about that, but he doesn't know the streets. He's not Hispanic. He's not black. He knows a little bit about the mob stuff. Nowadays, to win an election, you need the street. You need street workers, right? That's Jason Lee. Remember when I started talking about this, almost a half hour ago? You need to look at Jason Lee. Jason Lee talking to the union and talking to somebody else. That's the communications that need to be forwarded for this weekend. That came up with the $100 million. That's the guy that was doing the communication, because he understands what it takes to win the elections. He did that for Brandon Johnson when he became the commissioner. That was Jason Lee was on top of the street operations for Brandon Johnson's commissioner election, the first one against Boykin. That one. And everybody knows that Brandon Johnson wasn't elected by black people that first election. He was elected by white people. Everybody knows that one, right? And that was from Michelle Gunnarsson and Noreen Gutekunst. Noreen is out of Oak Park, and Michelle is out of Evanston. That's how he won. He didn't win through the black vote. Not against Boykin. And the second time he won. Because why? When you're in power, you can hand out the money and the jobs. That's how that works. I did this whole long explanation to say what you just seen is on purpose. Did they plan that mass shooting? I ain't saying they did that. I'm not saying that at all. They took advantage of the situation, of the crisis. That's what they did. That's a fact. And there's somewhere traceable or untraceable, there was a meeting this weekend to talk about the $100 million on purpose. And whether it was set up this weekend or before, that's what happened. All right, that's enough of me talking. I needed to say that out here, but because everybody is looking at the death and the blood and the guts and saying, oh, it's bad, and we need to do something because you're in shock, or you're either in shock or you're tired of it. Either you're in, I don't want to hear this stuff anymore. It's too much, and I'm tired of it, and they're corrupt. Screw them all, and let whatever happens, happens. Or you're like, wow, this is bad. We need to do something about it. There's two camps right now, right? That's why they come up with this $100 million idea, right? Because it's in the middle. It's in the middle. It ain't saying give us more cops, and it ain't saying it's okay. It's acknowledging that something's going on and saying, look, if you give us more money, we'll try to fix it. Ain't that sound like extortion? Isn't that what an extortionist does? Think about what happened today. Someone came up with an idea to put out in front of the public the Monday after a mass shooting of 14 people and 45 people were shot over the weekend. 7 or 8 people dead. And we don't even know the overdoses and whatever else happened over the weekend and the car crashes and the killings. You know, they don't even report that to you. I was in court today, I told you that, right? There was a migrant in court and the judge let him go. He goes, it ain't our problem, let him go. And they were all looking. The prosecutors and the defense counsel were looking like the judge said, ain't nothing to go. He's a migrant, let him go. It's not our problem. Let him out of the courtroom. ICE wasn't there today. ICE wasn't there. There was a migrant who broke the law and he walked out of court today. I watched it, it was right in front of me. It was the case right before me. I gotta look up that case. That was right there. Pretty interesting, isn't it? So why don't we do this? We're going to listen to the 5 o'clock. I'm going to figure out where else we're going to go. I got to put some washer fluid in my washer fluid here. I don't have washer fluid now. So what I'm going to do is put on the radio calls or the news. In the middle of the news, I'm going to put washer fluid in my car because I'm empty here, right? I don't know where I'm going now. I'm going to go this way. We'll go over to Fulton Market District, right? And we'll figure out what else we're going to do today, all right?
We partially launched a new
Thanks for listening to me. That was a big story there. I don't know if you understood everything I said. Here, to summarize. What you just seen happen today with the $100 million wasn't organic. It was planned. It was pre-planned. That's what I'm trying to say.
Experience and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com. Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Every 16 seconds, an American receives a cancer diagnosis, and every minute of every day, another person loses a life to cancer. That's why Stand Up to Cancer has set a bold goal to make early stage detection an essential part of standard of care for all cancers. So often, if cancer is detected early, the chance of long-term survival is 90%. So if we all support cancer research, more than 2 million lives can be saved in the next decade. So join the mission to help save lives today at standuptocancer.org.
WCFS-FM at HD1 Elmwood Park, Chicago.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
458 traffic and weather together on the 8s on the roadways near Figueredo.
A couple of tollway issues. We have a pretty big delay that continues on the Jane Addams tollway if you're westbound. Past Route 25 to past Randall Road. Crash cleanup there on the shoulder. All lanes are open, but stuff to see as you're driving by. The Reagan tollway with a backup eastbound passing Naperville Road. That's a stall blocking at least a lane. Route 52 traffic on either side through the area of William Morris and Palatine as well. That's construction long-term stuff in the right lane. Construction delays through Joliet on I-80, roughly either way between Center and Briggs. And then you have spotty delays eastbound from 355 over to 57. In northwest Indiana, just some backups on 80-94 either way. Westbound in spots from 65 to the Tri-State. Eastbound heavy from the Bishop Ford to Kennedy Avenue. On the expressways, looking at the highest travel time right now on the inbound Eisenhower. Hour 10 from I-90 in, 42 in from Manheim. Brake lights Higgins to Route 390, York to Harlem, and Independence into the Jane Byrne. Next report, 508. News Radio 1059, WBBM.
Clear skies comfortable for this evening, down to a low of 55. A little cool tomorrow. Some clouds and sunshine, high 74. Right now, sunny 72 degrees in Chicago.
Featuring the news that matters and breaking news at any time. This is Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 1059 WBBM.
Coming up in the next half hour on News Radio WBBM.
I'm Mallory Vorbroker. The competition is heating up for the Chicago Bears Stadium project.
Local leaders and Logan Square residents celebrate the completion of a redesign project along Milwaukee Avenue. And talks continue in Switzerland to finalize a permanent peace deal between the U.S. and Iran. Latest just ahead from ABC News. Sports Cubs are in New York to take on the Mets tonight, while the White Sox host Cleveland. In business,
I'm Dan Schwartzman at Bloomberg. Mixed session on Wall Street today. The Dow gained 0.33%. The Nasdaq lost 1 1/3%, while the S&P fell by 0.4%.
Accurate the forecast for this evening. Clear skies, comfortable, low near 55 degrees. Right now, mostly sunny, 72 degrees in Chicago. ABC News at 5 o'clock.
Progressing on a final peace deal between the U.S. and Iran. Weekend meetings in Switzerland. Negotiations now shifting the U.S. sides to more technical aspects, including Iran's nuclear program. ABC's Tom Sufi-Burrich is in Switzerland with more.
J.D. Vance saying that the most exciting thing, in his words, has been the fact that the agreed to allow UN nuclear inspectors back into the country. Vice President saying that is a first step in terms of ending Iran's nuclear program, but still clearly a lot of progress and hard work to be done.
Iranian state media reporting officials say Iran made no new nuclear commitments and said that Tehran did not negotiate over its nuclear program during the 18-hour discussions and did not agree to any new commitments. During an executive signing meeting today, President Trump weighed in on the problems with the renovations of the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. The president claims there is proof of vandalism, saying people may have used some type of knife, he says, to cut the blue paint that's peeling.
Well, let's put it this way. When you have a 350, I think it's 350, not 250, a 350-foot slit from one end to the other, you think that's proof?
The president says the Park Service has made 5 arrests. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze has more on the multi-million-dollar project.
The company that applied the coating says it identified some areas of the pool that require repairs and confirmed that it will need to be drained. That company, along with a water purification business that's owned by a longtime donor to President Trump, bypassed the traditional bidding process that's typically used to do work on national parks.
World Cup action today, including a history-making match between Argentina and Austria. Lionel Messi set a new World Cup record for all-time scoring with 18 goals, helping Argentina beat Austria 2-0. On Wall Street today, stocks ending mixed with SpaceX falling, shares dragging on tech. You're listening to ABC News.
If you look at online reviews for most roofing companies, it isn't pretty. Problems like missed appointments.
So now come the local news after the... they switch it. At the halves, it's local news first, then national news, international. On the top of the hour, it's international, national, and then local. So local is going to come on now. They'll talk about the 100 million. You see how that's the cycle? So think about this too. What are you talking about? You're not talking about how many people were dead or killed. You're not talking about the mellow buzz and the Ricky Band's connection to the mass shootings, 2 mass shootings within a year, you're talking about $100 million. So not only is it a planned way to defund the police, it's a planned diversion. That's what it is, right? It's so shocking that people say, why you want $100 million? So now it becomes part of the news cycle. That's another, I didn't mention that when we did that. You do that to take away the winds in the sail, as they call that. There's all kinds of words to talk about that stuff. Man, I got all this crap in my head. It's automatic. When these things happen, it just pops in my head. That's the way I talk about it.
5:03, Monday, June 22nd.
Now local news.
Good afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us today. Very nice day in Chicago. Should be a nice evening as well. I'm Andy Dane in for Lisa Fielding. Mostly sunny skies, 72 degrees right now in Chicago. AccuWeather says clear skies and a very comfortable evening ahead. Low near 55 degrees. Tomorrow going to look a lot like today. Cooler day with some sunshine and clouds, a high 74. However, things could change a bit on Wednesday. Could see more of that severe weather in the area. We'll have the details in the 5-day forecast coming up at 5:15. Our top local story here on News Radio WBBM. The battle over a Bears stadium in Indiana is expanding as the tax debate in the Hoosier state continues to grow. WBBM's Mallory Vorbroker with details.
A growing divide is emerging in northwest Indiana over a proposed tax package tied to a potential new Chicago Bears stadium. Indiana Capital Chronicle reports Porter County leaders are split on whether residents should help fund the project through higher restaurant, hotel, and admissions taxes. Supporters say the stadium could bring jobs, tourism, and economic growth. Critics question whether taxpayers should subsidize an NFL franchise. Meanwhile, Illinois officials are still working to keep the team in state with new proposals emerging. State Representative Curtis Tarver II is pitching Chicago's southeast side as a stadium site tied to several major development projects. Adding to the debate, former Bears linebacker Brian Urlacher tells Politico he'd rather not see the team play in a domed stadium, arguing that cold weather football has long been one of Chicago's competitive advantages. Mallory Vorbroker, News Radio 105.
Here in Chicago, Mayor Johnson and other local officials attended a ribbon cutting this morning for the Logan Square redesign and Milwaukee Avenue streetscape project.
This new space includes public green spaces, improved pedestrian access, modernized traffic signals and streetlights, wider sidewalks, and more safety features for pedestrians and bike riders.
The 1-acre space replaces an aging infrastructure that runs through Logan Square and Avondale. Chicago police issuing a community alert after 2 assaults on the south side.
Police say 2 women were assaulted in the South Shore neighborhood. The first was June 13th on the 3100 block of East 79th Street about 6 o'clock in the morning. The second was June 15th about 8 o'clock at night on the 7700 block of South Shore Drive. Both times, women were standing alone when the attacker grabbed them from behind and groped them. In the 79th Street incident, the man threw the woman to the ground and sexually assaulted her. Chicago police say in the second case, the woman was able to escape after a struggle. The attacker is believed to be a man between 30 and 40 years old. Terry Keshner, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A 20-year-old Des Plaines man has died after his motorcycle collided with an SUV Saturday night in Mount Prospect.
That's a migrant.
It happened sometime before 10 p.m. on Ram Road near Henry Street. The motorcycle driver, identified as Scotty Stuck, was taken to Lutheran General Hospital where he died. Police say the 33-year-old Mount Prospect man driving the SUV was not hurt in the crash. A decades-old Illinois murder case is back in the spotlight.
We're going to put in some water in my
long-standing conviction.
Nearly a year after 86-year-old Chester Uyghur's death, his attorney is asking Governor Pritzker for a posthumous pardon in the infamous Starved Rock murders. Uyghur spent decades in prison after being convicted in the 1960 killing.
Over here, I got washer fluid in my
after 24 denied parole requests. He always maintained his confession was forced and denied killing any of the 3 women found dead at the state park. His attorney now claims those deaths were part of a murder for hire
you won't be able to see nothing anyway, because I gotta have my hood up, right? Yeah, stupid. I'll let you see the I can.
Leaders in Lake in the Hills had to shell out a lot of money to repair snowplows following a gasoline mix-up. And now the vendor responsible is agreeing to settle with the village.
24 trucks were affected when someone from supplier Avalon Petroleum put the wrong type of fuel into a public public works tank last November. That's according to minutes from a village board meeting 4 months ago, where trustees approved more than $320,000 in unexpected repairs. The mix-up came before a major winter storm and set off error codes and other problems in the fleet. Lake and McHenry County Scanner reports
what I'll do is I'll put on the
with a couple of
scanner
repair shops to fix the problem. The village has
That's
reached
the
a
New Bally's
settlement with
Casino.
Avalon. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
It's 5:08. Let's update traffic and weather together on the 8s now with Neil Fiorito.
All right, Andy, we'll start the drive in the north suburbs along the Edens. Brake lights inbound, passing the spur red.
Let's start listening to some radio calls. If you guys hear something, tell me, and then we'll go chase the crime, right? We'll do some crime chasing. That's all right. We don't mind that. Let me put some crime stuff on. Oh, no. We don't want that. We don't want... Oh, and by the way, I got dinged for copyright on Friday's music. So I can't use that. Don't use the Signscape. That, the signs, the one that I was playing when I was down in Harvey. Don't use that music. The other one, the blues music didn't pop nothing, but the space music did. Let me put on some calls, and then we'll go out and catch some crime, right? I gotta put liquid in my washer fluid.
Progress 4045 north of Walgreens, 2-man blind stop list.
Do me a favor, if you hear anything big, put it in the comments.
388. 7388. Set blue line. 08905. 08905.
7388 point. Then you have the bus number for Urban Park Blue Light.
08914. 08914. 3383 King. 7383 King. Number Clark and Lake Blue Light. 08921. 08921. 310. 7310. Squirrel, get a number for Garfield, red line. 08930. 08930. 87 Charlie. 87 Charlie. Bus 1259. I'm just 8 Street. 08935. 08935.
3 units in Dana Citywide, the battery in progress, 63rd and King, 6th Street and King. Caller reporting a male and a female fighting inside the Green Light Station. I got nothing further, 3rd District 17. Units of 16 to 2, I get steps in progress, 4046 north of Walgreens, 2-man blind stop list, door, phone 166 clear. 337. Unit come in. 7337. 7337. Counter 36 breakfast flash scan. Seconds are 08986, 08986. 3 units in there in the city, which is in progress, 7250 South South Shore Drive, 7250 South South Shore Drive. Calling reporting an unknown male threatening her in the parking lot. She lives in apartment 1 Eddie and has never seen the male before. I got nothing further, 3rd District 17. 422 units at 24 and Citywide, getting a person with a gun in front of the supermarket at 7622 North on Paulina. They're recording a 3 male black, one about 5'6", gray hoodie, heavy build, mask on, dark colored pants. Sadie has a gun on him. Coming in details to follow, nothing further. Zone 11 District 24 clear.
383 Adam. 733 Adam. Can I get a van number for 95 in the rest, please? 09072. 38300. 73300. Number, please. Roosevelt Red. 09082. 09082. TH1 Citywide. TH1 Citywide. Here now. We're up. Can you please get a van number for the outside?
Oh, you got people walking around here, right? Everybody asks for money. Why they ask for money all of a sudden? They want to buy drugs. Drug addicts. They're not homeless. These are drug addicts. First thing they ask for is money. They want $5, $10. They don't want 50 cents. They don't want a meal. They want $10. Go around. See what these guys want. They're drug addicts.
73 John. 73 John. Red light check at Jackson, please. 09100. 09100. Charlie. Charlie. Number for 79 Red. 09105. 09105. Marine 2. Marine 2. I have 2, 1 for Navy here and 1 for Charlie. L2 tech 09112. 09112. 09117. Thank you. 83 David.
So watch this. See these cops just came by here? Watch.
09124.
See the cops that just came by here, they were looking at me. But there's a guy setting up a encampment there and they ain't gonna do nothing about that. See the cops right there? See the chick that was walking there asking me for money? They ain't gonna do nothing about that. Watch, look. Whatever that dude's doing, he's doing something there, right?
7389 boy.
You don't see the cops talking to him, do you?
Train right from UNC Halstead westbound. Car number 7102. 09143. 09143. Radio check.
What's up, man? Hey, pasó me. What the hell you doing? Come here, my brother. No way. Hey, bro. Oh, man. Mucho damn loco, man. Yeah, you're crazy. Hey, hey. Davey. You give me, hey.
B83 George.
Que maybe comer, okay? Me and you comer? Yes. ¿Tú sabes? Yes. All right. ¿Dónde tu casa now? Where you go? Western. I live down on Western para 35. Para there. Text you, okay? My friend, bro. Adios, okay? Hey, I'm happy, okay? This guy's complaining about the guy here, right? So I always sit around here. So it looks like the owner is complaining about this guy right there, man. Right, that guy, right there, right. So I always sit around, see what happens. So the cops came. It looks like the owner of that restaurant. Let me back up here. Something looks like it's happening, right? What's up, brother? Is that about you over there? It looks like it. There you go. So, looks like the owner of that restaurant is calling in on this guy here. See that guy here? Huh? What? I'm a news guy, my brother. Don't talk shit to me, my brother. I'm a news guy. Don't insult me and don't talk to me that way, my brother. You want to tell your story? Tell your story. Yeah, I'm on the news. Alex, we're up on Facebook. Seattle News. All right. There you go. There you go. So that's all you have to say. I've been dealing with you for 40 years. So you don't even know who I am, my brother. I don't know who you are. So why are you talking shit? So, I don't care who you are. I don't know, man. We'll see what happens, my brother. So there we we go, right? So the owner's calling the cops on him, and that dude's yelling at me, right? That's how life goes, right? These guys are all on drugs, right? They're all violent. He's a violent man. He starts screaming at you, right? And he's homeless or whatever he is. I don't know what this. How you doing? I have no idea. I'm John Kugler, SubX.News. I'm a news reporter. Okay. I have no idea who this guy is. I seen you guys pull up on him, and I started recording that because I chase crime. That's it. Then I said, "Is this related to you?" And he starts screaming at me. I don't know anything that's happening. I have no idea what's going on. He just starts screaming at me. At the cops, right? The casino cleaned this whole area out. And he's aggravating the cops, see that?
387 Charlie. 7387 Charlie. Numbers of bus at bus 4133 on Michigan from Superior. 09362. 09362.
Stevenson 2 Citywide on Southern Progress 256 East 35th Street at A Styles. Applicant hair braiding. The staff is not allowing her girlfriend to leave. The door is locked. There's a dispute over payment. Nothing further on that.
383 Frank. 733 Frank. 37 the rail out platform. Gotta get an event number.
So, SubX.News live on the spot reporting. It's 5:20 p.m. We're at Des Plaines and Hubbard right now. There's a guy, I don't know what's going on with him. Seems like he's trying to set up a homeless camp. And the owner of the bar over here, he called the cops. It looks like the cops went over to the restaurant, and then the cops came over to talk to that guy, and he starts yelling at everybody. He was yelling at me. I don't know why he's yelling at me, right? And that's what we got here, and we have the police on scene, right? So that's what we have here, right? We're at the old Boomer Chocolate Factory, and there used to be a big encampment here, a drug encampment. Right? And that's what we're involved in here, right? Don't know what this is about. He's got a whole bunch of stuff out there, right? The owner is over there. See, the owner is over there of the restaurant. He called them up and said they ain't supposed to be here probably. And I know they cleaned it out for a little while. So we have somebody that's homeless, or whatever his situation is. We don't know. He brought a whole bunch of stuff there. It looks like a bunch of garbage. This place was cleaned out. And they're talking to him now. I don't know what's going on. And he starts yelling at me. I'm like, I don't even know who you are. And he's like, F you, F you. I'm like, dude, man, I don't know who you are. Don't talk to me that way, man. I don't know who you are. Don't be engaging to me like that. I mean, if I want, I'll fill out a police report against you that you're assaulting me, right? I'm a dude in a car, right? You hear him, he's all upset about certain things. I don't know what he's upset about, right? There you go, right? That's what we're dealing with. The city allowed this to happen for so many years. And now when they start cracking down because the election's coming up, the homeless and the drug addicts are getting upset, right? That's what's going on now, right? So that's what we're experiencing, right? We're experiencing where the government, since it wants to get reelected next February, is cracking down on certain things. Not on everything, but where the developers want it done, right? Like they cleaned out a tent camp at Logan Square we might go see today. That tent camp was there for years. A developer said move it, so they moved it. There was a tent camp back here by the Bloomer Chocolate Factory. We have multiple years of documenting that. All of a sudden the Valley said we want it out, so they removed it. But other tent camps aren't removed. You kind of get it? So that's what we're witnessing now, that the police are receptive to people who want certain things done, and it creates this conflict with people who are homeless, on drugs, or doing whatever they're doing. And now they're mad because for so many years they were allowed to do something, right? And now they can't. Right? And that's where we're at, right? Again, SubX is on the spot reporting. All right. That's what you're watching here. So we're at Hubbard and Des Plaines, the old Bloomer Chocolate Factory, right? That's what's happening. You're watching it live here. Telling them that he has to move. So I guess the policy of the city has changed. You can't just set up encampments anywhere. Where no less than 2-3 years ago they said, yeah, you can camp anywhere, and there's people calling on tent cities and you can hear them on the dispatch saying there's nothing we can do about it. So I guess now I don't know if they're outlawing them or what they're doing, but it's kind of strange how the policy has changed that quickly, right? Maybe I need to do a FOIA request. I don't know what this guy's doing. I don't know what he's doing here. He's moving his stuff somewhere. You know, as the business owner is over there, right? And he's like, yeah, man, I ain't supposed to be there. So he calls him up while he's setting up. And then that's it, right? And then I don't know what he's doing. This guy's doing with the cops here. The cops are following him around, right? And that's where we're at. We're in that conflict now, right? It's gonna get worse because now there's this conflict, right, between the police, the policy, and what people thought they could do for how many years, right? Right? Because they were allowed to do it. It's like your children. If you ever raised children, you let your kids get away with something, then they keep doing it, right? Right? And he's giving that guy a bad look, right? He's giving that guy a bad look. He's giving the owner here on Citizen app, I'll show you. He's giving the owner of that, I don't know what restaurant that is there. It's a restaurant. And he's giving the owner a bad look there, that guy, right? As he's walking past. Like, that's not appropriate. Do what you need to do. I get it that you're homeless or whatever your situation is. That's all right. Whatever. That's your choice, right? Nobody's judging the guy on that. Yeah, well, me too, Ms. Zidor, but hey, that's all we can do, right? Some of these guys like to be homeless because they're on drugs or something like that, right? So yeah, see, he keeps looking at the guy, man. See that there? Yeah, he dumped all that garbage there. That was his garbage, right? Showing him something. I don't know was showing him something. So. SubX.News, right? Again, that's the owner of the restaurant. I guess the guy was setting up an encampment here. And he says, yeah, man, he's not supposed to be there, right? So maybe after the cops leave, I'll go talk to him or something like that, right? I'm not going to follow the guy, whatever, man. He's going down underneath the bridge over there, right? So that's the owner over there, right? Of a restaurant across the street, and I know... cleaning this place up because of the casino there. Somewhere like that. That's not working. Like that. So he left a big pile of garbage there is what he did. This place was cleaned out. I think we were here last week sometime, and so he basically put a big pile of garbage. Let's listen to the local news now, 5:30, right?
Cool tomorrow with some sunshine and clouds, a high 74. Hovering in the 60s at the lake. Right now, mostly sunny, 72 degrees in Chicago at 5:29.
Amazon Business. With smart business buying, innovative AI tools optimize your purchasing experience, paired with delivery options built for business. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
At EasyCater, we believe every workday.
You see how fast the cops came at me?
9 a.m.
I'm sitting in my car doing whatever I'm doing. The cops are at me.
Big client presentation.
You seen how fast the cops came at you, right?
Accountants gotta work late. Keep them pepped up with spicy noodles. With EasyCater, you get a huge variety of favorite restaurants with tools to help meet dietary needs and stay on budget, all on one platform. So make every workday better with EasyCater. Start an order at EasyCater.com.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station, News Radio 105.9 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
5:30, good afternoon. I'm Andy Dane in for Lisa Fielding. These are the top stories on News Radio WBBM. Chicago anti-violence advocates call on the city to create a new department focused on combating gun violence.
This is Rachel Pearson. A home explosion forces hundreds of people to evacuate an entire neighborhood just southwest of Rockford.
This is Nancy Hardy.
Meth lab, huh? Rockford. They never explain all those explosions, do they?
The suburb wants to retire some well-used playgrounds.
And the U.S. and Iran both say progress is being made in peace talks taking place in Switzerland. Sports, the Cubs face the Mets in New York tonight, while the White Sox host Cleveland. In business,
a mixed session for Wall Street. The Dow gained 0.33%. The Nasdaq lost 1 1/3%. The S&P fell by 0.4%. I'm Dan Schwartzman at Bloomberg.
Should be a pretty nice evening here. Clear skies, comfortable conditions, a low near 55 degrees. Right now, mostly sunny, 72 degrees in Chicago at 5:31. Topping our news of this half hour, and after another violent weekend in Chicago, a large crowd gathered at City Hall today advocating for a Department of Gun Violence Prevention.
Somebody say fund peace!
Fund peace.
About 2 dozen community leaders and politicians gathered on the third floor of City Hall, saying Chicago needs a new tool to stop the killing. Reverend Sierra Bates Chamberlain is executive director of Live Free Illinois.
We have long believed that reducing gun violence cannot be dependent upon who occupies City Hall or what administration is in office. It must be embedded into the fabric of how this city operates.
Advocates want $100 million for a Chicago Department of Gun Violence Prevention and want the office to be created this fall. Beth Brown is pastor at Lincoln Park Presbyterian Church. She says the department would make life much easier for Chicago police.
I believe they will be a willing partner in this.
Fun piece now. Terry Keshner, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Residents of a Northwest Trail.
There you go, man. There you go, man. I'm a reporter. Here you go. They're trying to set up a tent city there, right? Because I know they kicked them out of there.
The encampments have been all purged out of here. This motherfucker thought he was going to stay there with
he
his
put all that shit there because that wasn't there the other day.
This has been going on since this morning.
I see that pile of stuff there.
Yeah.
I've been covering this for about 3 years because I said that should never shut down. That was a factory.
Me and my
name is John.
I'm Dan.
I'm an independent reporter. I've been documenting drugs, crime, and the homeless shit here.
Yeah, so they said they're going to get streets and sand to get rid of that.
Because I say it affects the business. Look.
I'm like, he put it there. Tell him to get it out of here.
That's what I said. I seen it. And he started screaming at me. But I was saying, look, that place used to be open 24/7 with a factory, and then they put all the drug addicts back there. You remember when it was bad back there?
I live right in the high-rise here.
It was bad there. They threatened to kill me one day back there because I was going to do a documentary on everybody. Because what they do is...
They did a sweep in the winter, and they're going, all these motherfuckers, wait a minute. Where do they get the right to sit and loiter on the fucking public sidewalk, and we have to go in the street? One day I was walking...
You tell me what law changed.
Yeah.
They put the milk crates there. Do you ever see them on the milk crate?
Yeah, so they're sitting there. I go, move it. I go, I ain't one walking in the fucking street for you. And one day they saw me.
Right here, right?
Yeah, one day they saw me and they moved out. They had an office chair there.
Do you remember when they moved to Milwaukee over there? They moved from here to Milwaukee and they blocked the whole Milwaukee, and I did a video. The mayor don't like me. As soon as I did the video, they moved them out.
Yeah. So I took a tent on Milwaukee and I threw it in the fucking street and got rid of her ass.
All right, how about this? I'm in the middle of my stuff. When are you over here? I'll come and talk to you. I'll buy some lunch from you. Spend some money at your place. I'm poor, but I'll spend some money.
No, I live right in this high-rise here.
Oh, you don't run the restaurant?
No. I walk here to go to Jewel.
I was gonna buy some food out of your restaurant.
No, I have nothing.
Oh, how about this? Text me when you're free.
I was standing there to keep my distance.
I'll buy you. Where do you want to eat? You want to eat in there, or where's your favorite spot to eat?
This is fine. It's walking distance.
When do you usually walk? In the afternoons?
Well, I'm retired, so I'm home all the time. But as of July 1st, I'm having hip replacement.
Ooh, man, my knees are bad and my hip is bad too.
Oh, I did the one.
Did it work? Because I can barely move. I'm 58.
I'm 66.
All right, so when did you get your knee done?
I had my hip done in May.
How is it? Better?
A year ago in May. Yeah.
You know what they told me? My knee might be bad because of my hip. My hip was... Did they tell you the same thing? Your knee or your hip is connected or something like that?
Well, there's all the nerves and the pain from my hip was radiating to my knee and my ankle.
And so is it better now?
Oh, yeah. So I wanted to get ahead of it because since we got back from Arizona, I started feeling it in the left.
Right.
My surgeon said, you're 7 out of 10, up to you. And I'm having it done July 1st.
And do you do the fast one where you're out of the hospital the same day and all of that?
I stay overnight.
But it's done. It's no more like weeks and stuff anymore.
No, and it's an incision right here, 4 inches.
Oh, that's it?
He does direct anterior.
Which
approach.
hospital? What? Rush Hospital. Everybody tells me Rush is the best place, so I have to get over there. I'll have to switch my insurance. Look, text me your name and number. My name is John. Let's have lunch and talk about some stuff.
All right.
Because I've been covering this. The main thing I say is that used to be a place where they used to make money. Do you know how much they made? $1 billion a year over there. And Brandon Johnson said, let them leave. And then all the drug addicts went over there. I said, so you got drug addicts versus a factory.
Johnson's a fucking asshole because the reason why he doesn't want to see anything happen to them is because he has a relative that's in the same boat. Oh, too bad. You know what? I have a nephew that's a fucking heroin addict and has gotten locked up twice. That's where you belong.
Or in rehab or someplace, not underneath the bridge.
No.
Yeah, see, in the old days when I grew up, they threw you in the drunk tank, rehab, or jail. They gave you an option. They're not doing anything with these guys.
Well, when they cleaned this up, several of them went into homes,
right,
and others didn't. And the officer said they have to qualify. If they're not clean, they can't go in. And I'm like, wait
so
a minute.
How do you get in?
How do you get clean?
Yeah. I never heard that. Are you serious? The cop told you that?
She told me that.
So you have to be clean to get into rehab. Wait, why do I need to go to rehab then?
Right.
You know what? I did a whole story about it. I did a whole documentary, almost an hour long. You know where? On the Salvation Army down there. That's where people used to be. People gave me so many comments, said, I got sober there. They helped me get sober and I lived there. And then I said, yeah, they're living under the bridge here. And they closed that place down. It doesn't even make sense. Look, nice meeting you.
Likewise.
Text me
right.
and I'll lunch on me or dinner. Oh, how about early dinner somewhere? Not too expensive.
No, this is fine.
Oh, well, we're right here, okay?
Yeah.
On me, okay? Or you want to go to Marta Anthony's? You like that place?
I've never been, so yeah.
The old man passed away, but we'll go over here maybe.
All right.
I know the kid a little bit, so hey, nice meeting you, brother.
All right.
See you later, okay? Text me, okay?
All right, John.
All right, let's get out of here. So he's a resident. So you heard it here. He says the cops say you had to be sober to get into rehab, which that's it. That's ridiculous. You know what? I'm gonna text the cops. I'm gonna do a FOIA request and say, is that true? So imagine what he just said. A resident said he talked to the cops, and the cops said, we can't take him to rehab unless he's sober. Like, wait up. That doesn't even make sense there, right? And what did he say? I noticed that. I was here last week, I'm pretty sure, and that garbage pile wasn't there. So now what? It just stays there, right? And the guy walks away, right? Police activity over by the old Bloomer chocolate factory. Somebody tried to set up a residence on the sidewalk. All right, let's keep moving, right, guys? We got a show to do, right? What are we doing? Are we doing crime now? And let's go. This is some crime calls. So you see, right? The residents are tired of it. And they say they try to do, and what? The cops tell them one thing and the other. It doesn't make sense. We're getting mixed signals here, right? All right, listen to some radio calls. See if did I miss any crimes, anybody? You know me, I'm behind on the radio calls today, so I do apologize. Let's get to this crime chasing now, right? Do a little crime chasing, right? There was a lot Friday. You know I didn't sleep Friday. I went all day Friday, and I went into the morning until the afternoon. I didn't sleep Friday until 7 p.m., I think. Or I think I didn't get sleep till about 5 o'clock. 6 o'clock. I didn't sleep till 6 o'clock Saturday. From Thursday. I stayed up all night Thursday. I did my crime chasing and I did my reporting. Then I stayed up all day Friday and I went out all night. And then since I was right about to go to sleep in the morning, and then I heard about the mass shooting. They were covering it up. I reported on it. You know, they covered up the mass shooting at first. It was on a separate channel. And then I seen Justin's report, and I heard the first mentioning of the shooting on 95th at 9:30. No, not 9:30. 11 something, 12 something like that. After the first report, I actually have the event number. And they said, oh yeah, this shooting on 95th Street. And I'm like, what shooting? I posted it, I didn't think none of it. And then later in the night, I started seeing mass shooting. And I was going to get some information. I said, you know what? And I went out in person, and that's when the cops pulled out the tape. And they left the scene, and that's when I did my video report from the mass shooting incident. At that time, they said only 11, I believe. Now they're up to 14, so they keep changing the story over there. We don't know, right? So, there we go. Let's go see what's going on. We're going to listen to some crime chasing now, right? Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. It's 5:41. Let's listen what's going on. And it's 5:41, so why don't we go back to about 5 o'clock? We'll see if we miss anything. There we go.
215. Hey, this is 15. Show me and then I call me back.
For units and 2 in the citywide, it's a criminal trespass in progress. 47 in Cottage, 47 in Cottage at the McDonald's. Male black pink hoodie with gray pants in the main lobby of McDonald's has been trespassed before. They have a report for it. He may be high. I got nothing further. Checking at your phone 7.
Let me pull over here a second.
389 boy. 739 boy.
It is 1700 hours on the 22nd day of June 2020. Chicago Police Radio.
Can I get a platform check at Racine, and then can you give us a mission number for trip mission at Racine? Alright, Racine is going to be 09246, 09246. And your mission at Racine is going to be 09252, 09252.
Ready to go, everybody? Let's go.
89 Adam. 89 Adam. We have an event number for Stevenson heading on 94 District.
If you're just tuning in, this is SubX.News Live. We do live street reporting, we do crime chasing, and as you see, we even interview residents, we interview criminals, we interview drug addicts. I'm not going to tell you who I was talking to in the middle of that, but that's somebody from my old past. When he came up to my side window, I don't know if you've seen that, and I gave him my card, and I'm just going to say I know that guy for almost 3 years, bro, okay? So we might have a big story coming up. A huge story, like huge. Not as huge as Trump, but huge.
09294. 09294.
Alright, where are we going here, right? You want to go see the drug camp over here? There's a drug camp right down the street here. I'll show you. SubX.News Live. The only reporters doing this stuff. There ain't nobody else doing what we do. Imagine if you get $100 million. So think about this, the $100 million. So they asked for $100 million. How much you think they're gonna get? They're gonna get something. They're gonna get 10 or 20 million. You'll see. If it doesn't pass the council, someone will propose something else, and Brandon will do it through a slush fund. You'll see. They're gonna get some money. They need the money for the election. That $100 million is not $100 million. It's something. They need about $20 to $30 million to win the next election, and that's what it's going to be used for. It's got a slush fund for Brandon Johnson's election. That $100 million, that's a proposal. It's always been there. It just got popped now because of the mass shooting. So you'll see, Mark. That guy is going to use every technique to win the election. The whole $100 million was about the election there. There's a drug camp over here. I'll show you guys.
7387 Charlie. Numbers above by 4133. Michigan from Superior.
Wow, there was just a killing in an auto shop. Let me pull over. We just had a shooting at a business. Something just happened.
560 35th Street at 8 miles. Applicant here rating the staff is not allowing her girlfriend to leave. The door is locked. There's a dispute over payment. That's just on that.
383 Frank. 733 Frank.
36 on the Roseland platform. Can I get an event number?
09386. 09386.
It was just a shooting. Let me read this to you. Just happened.
7383 Jack. Red line check it, Jack.
Let me read this to you guys, all right? And I'm going to post it.
09396.
Just happened, it looks like. I don't know what time, though. 38-year-old man was shot and killed Monday afternoon during a fight inside an auto shop in Little Village. The victim suffered multiple gunshot wounds in the chest. He died, while a 49-year-old male was hospitalized with injuries. So 2 people shot, 1 dead in Little Village. And let's see what time it happened. 2102 South Washtenaw. They don't have an exact time here. I don't like that. So 2 people shot this afternoon. Two shot. There you go. It continues. The gun violence is going to get worse, I'm telling you, because you can't play these $100 million games. And that's not how it works. You got to figure that stuff out. You got to lock people up. killers got to be like, you can't let killers be loose like what was the guy who killed the cop? That guy was a killer, man. They let that guy loose and he killed the cop, man. And I say it might have been the cop's fault. They didn't search him right because of this. Policies don't mess with the inmates, right? There we go. We're putting this. Just a murder just happened this afternoon. I'm posting it on the page right now. So there we go. Non-stop violence. Let's get out of here. So Little Village murder inside a workplace. So it's non-stop violence in the city. So, here, how about this? Do you think a gun violence department would stop that homicide today in a Little Village auto shop? Absolutely not. That was domestic related or interpersonal related. It has nothing to do with the gun. That homicide today inside that business has nothing to do with a gun. It has to do with interpersonal issues that cannot be predicted because it happened today at the business. That's not predictable because who knows how it happened. So you saying you need a gun prevention program is a lie. That's just a slush fund. There's no way you can prevent these crimes. What you got to do is lock up people that are dangerous. What you got to do is have systems in place. If somebody isn't dangerous, then you figure out what services they need and you go forward. That's all. Ain't no big deal. It's not that hard. It isn't rocket science. I mean, there's been murders since the beginning of time, right? So what you got to do is identify what type of a crime it is, why it happened, and adjudicate it that way, right? If it's a killer and a murderer, he or she has to be put in prison. There you go, Google, right? Let's ride, Clyde. There you go, man. Fulton Market District, right? You want to check how many people are here? This is Google Town, right?
7383, boy.
It's an expensive area, right?
7387 out. Can I get an event number for a bus ride? Bus number 8410 going eastbound from Damien on Pine 09665. 09665. 8383 Adam. 7383 Adam. I got a number for CPA check 95 North, please. 09669. 09669. 383 David. 7383 David. For check 69 red line. 09682. 09682. 383 John. 7383 John. Red line check.
So think about what you've seen today at the Bloomer's Chocolate Factory over there. Some guy dumped all that garbage there. He yelled at the other guy. He yelled at me. And what happened? They let him walk away. They let him walk away. The cops let him walk away. He didn't get put into some rehab. He didn't get evaluated by a social worker. So think about this. They want $100 million for gun violence, right? Well, what about that guy? What about that guy? What about, so we're going to have $100 million for stabbings? Are we going to have $100 million for bat attacks? We're going to have $100 million for scooter killings? We're going to have $100 million for a car running over? You know, there was a Latin King run over by a car before, 3 weeks ago. Everybody knows that one? You don't know that one, right? hit and run, ran over a Latin King. It was on a scooter on a bicycle. Yeah. You don't know that one case? So what are we going to have? A scooter car killing task force? 100 million? How many $100 million task force are we going to have? It's a fake thing. It's fake. He needs money for the election. The 100 million is for the election. Trust me, it is. When you're dealing with preachers and an alderman, it's what? Election stuff, right? He wants the money. It's emergency fund so he can get reelected. And I bet you it passes. And if it doesn't pass, he'll get some little amount of money. You'll see. All right, where are we going here? That's enough of my talking here. See, well, listen to 6 o'clock news when it comes back on.
3000 with Argyle. Purple 12 kids fighting in the park. South of Argyle, zone 1 to 7.
There you go. Kids fighting in the park.
I'm sailing. Check that out.
You hear that?
324.
Yeah, it's in 17 to City Light getting the battery in progress. Zone in park. 3000 with Argyle. Purple 12 kids fighting in the park. South of Argyle, zone 1 to 7. Clear.
So kids beating on somebody. 3,000 Argyle, right?
I'm sailing. Check that out.
7324.
388. A bunch of kids beating on somebody. 3,000 Argyle in the park.
09790.
88 boy.
88 boy.
We riding the train from Jefferson Park to California.
09794. 7383 Henry. That number was about red line. 09797. 7387 M. 7387 Can I get another number for a bus ride? Bus number 7916 going eastbound from Walcott on 39. 09807, 0907.
8383 King.
7383 King.
Number please for lunch, 204 North Wells.
09814.
389 Adam.
739 Adam.
Grand Port, Sullivan and Illinois District, Medical District.
09816.
877.
7387 Travis.
On bus 8421 on Michigan from 9th Street.
09826.
We're gonna go ahead. Let's see where we go.
4754.
4754.
Feedback question blue.
Sorry, where at?
Blue line.
09858, 09858.
So the units in 14 citywide, a panic alarm at PNC Bank, 3337 West North Avenue. 3337 West North Avenue, a PNC Bank. Panic alarm from the ATM in the lobby. The Island ATM, nothing further. 14th District, zone 3. 14 citywide.
383 Charlie.
7383 Charlie.
Go for 79 red, please.
09881.
And citywide, I got a call, shots fired. 12309 South Princeton, 12309 South Princeton, Barnett calling. Says 11-year-old niece heard a gunshot in the home, said they heard 4 to 5 people arguing. She's at Cole, she doesn't have a phone, but it's locked in her room. Not the further station clear.
7383 John.
7383 John.
Red line check, Jackson, please.
09907. 09907.
74, thanks. 7383 Eddie.
Go ahead, Eddie.
383 Eddie Squad, packet on event number 57 red line.
Zero 9913. 713 units of 7 and citywide getting a person with a gun, 56 in Halstead, 56. Domestic related caller stated male and female are arguing. Female inside of a white Honda. Male has a small handgun. Male black, last seen wearing all black clothing. Female has long braids, last seen wearing a sports bra. No further, zone 6 station clear.
3879.
7387 Adam.
Can I get an event number for bus right, bus number 7643 going westbound on 79 from Davis?
Go ahead, take 09940. 09940.
Keep moving, right? Jason saying, that's right, Clyde. Let's mow this popsicle stand, man. Let's go, man. Where are we gonna go, man? I think we're caught up with the radio calls there, man. I guess too many bad things happened over the weekend, huh? And we'll go over and we'll visit some people we know over there.
85 Ida.
7384 Ida?
85 Ida. Can I get a dance for the red?
09953. 09953.
Oh, 6 o'clock. Man, we're on time. There you go. 6 o'clock news, everybody. 6 o'clock starts with international, national, then local. And I can't listen to music. We'll get blocked, right? So let's get to the news, right? There we go. 6 o'clock news.
News at 6 o'clock.
There you go. Right on time.
President Trump stepping back from his threats of bombing and nuclear war with Iran. Instead, today, he had a softer tone when responding to reporters about the negotiation process to end the month's conflict. Mr. Trump now insisting the diplomacy underway, led by VP Vance with the U.S. negotiating team, will prevent any escalation in the Strait of Hormuz.
Are you willing to risk economic catastrophe and strike Iran again?
Well, not the way I'm doing it. It's not going to cause depression.
Yes, but if they don't abide by the
nuclear weapon supersedes depression. Depression is real bad. Nuclear weapon will cause depression much more quickly. The way we're doing it, we have the opposite of a depression.
Becoming a U.S. citizen could become more expensive. ABC's Luke Barr with details on what applicants can expect.
A new proposed rule by the Trump administration might make it more costly to become a U.S. citizen. The administration is proposing to raise the fee to file a citizenship form from $760 to $1,330, an increase of 75%. The current fees, they say, don't cover the cost of the application process.
Now, the increase is not immediate. A public comment period comes first. Reconsideration fees are also going up from $830 to nearly $1,500. A public comment session will be held before it's enacted. Problems with the reflecting pool in D.C. after a multi-million-dollar renovation. President Trump blaming vandalism. ABC's Elizabeth Chelsea.
Just 2 weeks after President Trump completed his more than $16 million renovation of the iconic reflecting pool, he now says it will need to be drained and repaired immediately. Last week, pieces of that new coating that the president applied to describe as an American flag blue color began peeling off. Trump now claims that vandalism is to blame, but he's provided no evidence to prove it.
Former Fed Reserve Chair Alan Greenspan died at 100 today from complications of Parkinson's.
That's old,
You're listening to ABC News.
He was around for a while. Greenspan was okay. He was a globalist. I don't know, man. A lot of those dudes you can't trust, and they're all part of that stuff because they're all got their hands in the money, man. You can't trust people that connect. Greenspan, I remember him, but he was a globalist, right? I think. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check before I make that statement. Let's see this here. Let me do my Google search. Greenspan, was he a globalist? Yes. See that? Look at this. Damn, my brain ain't that bad. Yes. There you go. Huh? Not bad for an old man like me running around doing crime chasing, huh? Yeah, I used to read a lot of books, okay? I'm one of those book dudes. Hey, everybody knows I do have a PhD, right? I don't say that too much, man. I only use my PhD against assholes I don't like. I like a SubX, I like everybody, except some people, and I block them. Don't worry. If I don't like you, you're not going to be on my page. That's all I got to say. And I don't care if you don't like me or you don't like what I say. That's cool with me. As long as you make an argument, that's fine. You start insulting me. There was a dude that was insulting my wife the other day when she did the racism story last week about the Korea girl. There was some dude started doing some Chinese weird racism stuff. I'm like, what? He said some really weird stuff. Gajoli. And he runs a Crime Chasers page. He has all his Emmy awards. I don't know, he's got an Italian name. Gajoli or something? Gojili or something like that. He used to do crime chasing in the old days. And he won some Emmy awards. He did some shows. He said some really nasty stuff about my wife, man. I said, huh? I looked on his page. He's got, the first thing you see on his page is an Emmy award. I guess he did some news shows. Man, I blocked that dude, man. You don't mess with my wife, man. Nah, that ain't a good thing, man. 603.
The Logan Square redesign. WBBM's Carolina Garibay has more.
Oh, we were going to go to Logan Square, right?
The Logan Square redesign and Milwaukee Avenue reconstruction project is finished.
Yeah,
Mayor Brandon Johnson joined members of the Logan Square community to celebrate the completion of the project, which expands public spaces and improves traffic safety on Milwaukee Avenue.
This new space includes public green spaces, improved pedestrian access, modernized traffic signals and streetlights, wider sidewalks, and more safety features for pedestrians and bike riders.
The project also creates a new public plaza next to the Logan Square CTA Blue Line station called La Placita, which celebrates the community's Latin
You can tell he was reading the way he was talking.
The redesign is proof of what's possible when the city invests in safer streets and stronger infrastructure.
Not only are we making Chicago the safest, most affordable big city in America, but we're making it a city where people can grow old and watch their families grow and thrive.
Liar.
Carolina Garibay,
Liar.
Radio 105.9 WBBM.
All the old people are getting chased out.
Trouble on the horizon for a local hospital.
West Suburban Medical Center in Oak Park is already closed after troubles with its billing system and problems with its elevators, as a village spokesperson told WBBM. All
there you go, man. Set up a tent in the park there. See that there?
A few weeks ago. Now, a report in the Sun-Times says ComEd is warning that electricity will be turned off July 8th.
So they kicked the tent out by the guy over there, but they didn't kick out this guy. Kind of get it? There you go. There's some canine dudes right there, man. Pretty wild, huh?
Chicago police now say a shooting in the Roseland neighborhood Friday night left 14 people injured, not 12 or 13 as previously believed.
Yep.
The latest victim is identified as a 19-year-old woman who was shot in the backside and self-transported to the University of Chicago Hospital. The shooting happened near West 95th Street in South Princeton just after 11 p.m. when investigators say a red SUV pulled up alongside a large crowd, and two people inside the SUV opened fire before fleeing the scene. It's 6:06. Today marks the first day on the job for new appointees to the Illinois Prisoner Review Board.
The panel underwent major changes in 2024, including the resignation of the board's chair after members granted early release to Cressetti Brand, a man with a lengthy criminal history. After that release, he was convicted of killing 11-year-old Jaden Perkins, who had tried defending his pregnant mother from Brand. This week, the 13-member board welcomes 4 new members, all appointed by Governor Pritzker and confirmed during sometimes contentious hearings in Springfield last month. The 4 were pressed on their resumes, including one fired from the National Network to End Domestic Violence after only a year on the job, and their willingness to deny early release depending on severity of crimes. 2 appointees, a former Bloomington police detective and a church pastor, were confirmed without issue. IPRB members make nearly $150,000 a year. Andy Day, News Radio.
Wow, I should have
105.9
applied for that
WBBM.
job.
Now we move across state line where a debate is growing in Northwest Indiana over taxes that could help fund a new Chicago Bears stadium in Hammond.
The competition for the Chicago Bears' next stadium is heating up on both sides of the state line. Indiana Capital Chronicle reports Porter County leaders are divided over a funding plan that would generate more than $1 billion for a proposed stadium in Hammond through new
County
admissions,
Sheriff.
hotel and food and beverage taxes, along with revenue tied to a recent Indiana toll road agreement. Supporters say the project would bring jobs and tourism, while critics question using taxpayer dollars to support a professional sports franchise. Meanwhile, Politico reports new Illinois proposals are emerging, with McCook and Chicago's southeast side joining Arlington Heights and the lakefront as potential stadium sites. Governor J.B. Pritzker says there will be no special legislative session until a deal is ready. Mallory Vorbroker, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
It's 6:08. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. What's going on? Lisa Costi.
So think about this. Jaden, you know that Jaden case, right? No official went to prison. The lady that let him out, who was in charge of that, she didn't care that he got killed, even after he got killed. They let that man out, and there was somebody, I think, on his prisoner review board that said he shouldn't have been let out. And the second part about that case, they were supposed to inform the family saying, hey, this dude's getting out, get ready, because she had an order of protection. They didn't do either one, and guess what? No one went to prison. They kept their salaries. You just heard they make $150,000, those suckers, and no one got punished. No one got sanctioned, right? They lost their job. Who cares? I bet you they're working somewhere else now, and no one went to jail. And the poor kid's dead. And the other guy went to prison. And then, what? Oh, we are appointing new people, $150,000 jobs. That's what happens. There's no accountability. No one went to jail. That was malpractice. Imagine, you let somebody out of jail that killed a kid, that tried to kill a pregnant woman, and the kid got killed. Why? Because he was protecting his mom. That's pretty nasty stuff there, ain't it? That's pretty rotten. And no one went to jail? Yeah, that's pretty bad there. All right, let's go check out the park here, man. And then we're going to go to do our thing, man. This is my favorite park here, man. We might get a soda pop out here. Oh, man. There we go. I need my car wash. What's up, everybody? I don't see no food out there. They got some jellies and jams there. What do you got there, brother? What do you? All right, why don't you give me one? Dill, what do you got? Dill pickle?
Yeah, Percy made one. Yeah.
All right, give me one.
Which kind do you like? I got hot dill, spicy, garlic dill.
Just dill.
Just regular dill?
Regular. I don't like the sweet stuff.
How about a garlic dill? Let me see if I got a regular dill.
If you got garlic, I'll take it. How much I owe you, my brother?
Appreciate your support. They're 12.
12, man. All I got is a big bill here. No, I might have it. You ain't got change for a big bill, right?
I just ain't too long been out here, about 2 hours.
I think I just can squeeze through it.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
SubX.News. I do reporting. It is my most favorite park in the city. This is where adults hang out. This is an adult park.
Exactly.
Keep the kids out. Yay! You don't pass go out here. If you're not past 30, you don't get in.
You don't get in. There you go.
I love it. John, here's my card, my brother. Send me a video so I'll do a plug on my page, right? Here, I'm live. If you want to talk live, say what you are, and then I'll send you the card. No?
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. Catch me out here when I got my food. That's what you do.
What do you sell?
I had the jerk nachos.
Come on, send me it when you're out here. I'll come and do a whole plug.
Actually, I'm gonna be out here Thursday, John. Come and see.
All right, we'll do a whole plug for you, okay?
Yeah.
Nice meeting you, all right?
Nice meeting
Appreciate you,
Tony.
okay?
I'm
Tony, John, all right?
Thank
Take
you,
it
man.
easy, my brother. I'm gonna go around a little bit, all right?
Thank
See
you.
you, my brother.
All right.
All right, where we at? Where we at? There you go, man. There we go.
This upcoming Sunday, and Metro wants to make it easier for you to get there. The rail agency will offer additional service on the UP Northwest and UP West lines that day. The parade starts at 11 a.m. at Montrose and Broadway before heading south through Boys Town. A screw-up at the pump meant costly repairs for 24 village trucks in far northwest suburban Lake in the Hills.
This is one of the best parks in the city. Only adults are allowed back here. It gets loud, they get party out here, but it is what it is, right?
Show trustees approved more than $320,000 for unexpected repairs to 24 trucks that had used the contaminated fuel, causing problems.
A little dope come over there, but they don't bother anybody, right? Nobody bothers people out here. This is like a no-bother zone. People do their own thing, and that's it. Right, that's it. They put the wrong gas in the snowplows. That's messed up, man.
The damage. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
An online auction supporting public art in a village south of Chicago is now live. The Flossmoor Public Art Commission's Garden Art and More auction runs through July 10th. Bidders can find unique home and yard art created by well-known and local artists, and money raised goes towards Flossmoor's public sculpture collection. You can find more information at artflossmoor.com.
What it means for you, from stabilizing gas prices and your cost of living.
This is Garfield Park. Alright, so what we're gonna do, we'll put on some radio calls. Alright, we'll see what's going on in the radio. Maybe we'll grab some crime or something on us. So we started around 6 o'clock. We'll put this back to 5:40. If we hear something that we already heard, then we'll go fast forward it. Right?
My friends, get through a workday without exhausting pain. Cisco Kodo here. If that sounds like you, I'm here to tell you something you can do. You can contact QC Kinetics. You heard me.
Let's see if we hear anything that we already heard, right?
I had an idea coming in.
753.
4753.
Mainline Citywide.
Good evening.
383 David.
7383 David.
Check 69 red line, please.
09986 09986.
Lincoln.
83 Lincoln.
Or Chicago Red.
Chicago Red is 09989 09989.
7383 Frank.
7383 Frank.
Squad 37 red line, Grand Park. Can I get another VIN number?
It's going to be 09994 09994.
3877.
87 Charlie.
Number 2 bus 4343 on Michigan.
Which one you want on Michigan LA? Alright, your number is going to be 10012 10012.
7362.
7362.
Prefer drop off Garfield red lane.
10032 132.
2385 Eddie.
Hi Eddie.
Can I get a VIN number for 69th on the red line?
139 10039.
Save 85 George.
7385 George.
Event number for Garfield.
Red line in Garfield?
Yes.
145 10045.
7385 Frank.
85 Frank.
That was that number for
74 10074.
Video's glitching out. How about now, Jason?
7383 Henry.
Number for lunch.
How's the video now, Jason?
And it's gonna be 182 10082.
Is the video still good or bad?
7383 Adam.
For that number, please, the blue line, Carson Lake.
It's gonna be 192 10092.
Units in 21 citywide, person with a knife, 4612 South Lake Park, 4612 South Lake Park. Caller is a child, says a 15-year-old named Kavion, who had a knife on him and his friends, last seen wearing twists, hat, white shirt, gray shorts, District 2, Zone 7.
7385 David.
7385 David.
Street red line, please.
10113 10113.
83 Eddie.
83 Eddie.
The number 5050 red line.
10122 10122.
385 Charlie.
Go ahead, Charlie.
Number 87 in the red line.
10123 10123. 83 Mary. 7383 Mary. Get a number for Division Red Line. 101 31 10131. 87 Charlie. Yeah, your phone's ringing in the background. All I heard was northbound.
Right on 1184 northbound from Michigan, Ontario.
If your number is going to be 10137 10137.
This is directly tied to the mayor's re-election bid. That's what it'll be used for.
Take it, that number for 95 in the red, please.
10141 10141. Hi, Dada. 7385 Ida. Hi, Adam. Can I get a number for the line on 95th Street, please? Maryland 95 is 10149. 10149. Thanks. Welcome.
33 Frank.
83 Frank.
Pretty good lunch. 35th in Michigan. I think it's the number.
It'll be 10167 10167.
Mayor's re-election.
7388.
7383 Mary. 7383 Mary, was that you?
88.
7388.
That's what I said. Blue line, Cumberland.
Your number is going to be 10178 10178.
White dopers.
7383 Lincoln.
White drug addicts. See that right there? Those are white drug addicts right there, right? They're out there, man. It's all races and creeds out here. White drug addicts right there. See that there?
3211. Such a message about a flat tire. Just got chance out of
White drug addicts. See that there? Tell you, I bet you talk to them to have an accent from another state. I bet you they're not even from here. Well, bet. And you got a bender over there. You got some guys over here doing their thing. See that there? Ain't no arrests going on here. You got a lot of Cook County Sheriff's cars here, but you got a lot of drug use happening. Look at that. You want me to do a circle here? Let me show you this. Watch this.
You should see it on the
We'll do a about face, right?
94 Charlie.
94 County.
Charlie, can I just have a number for Roseland Green, please?
Green and Roseland is 10212 10220. Go ahead, Marine Unit. So can I get a name for that 5 car at
So you want to see what's going on here? Watch this. Ready? So it's 6:22 p.m. June 22nd. It's 6:22 p.m. June 22nd. We're out here on the west side, right? On Lake Street. I'm pretty sure this is Pulaski over here. Now look at all these cop cars here. These are all sheriffs, right? The dude right in back of me. Man, there's a whole road. There's a whole road in back of me. They can go on Lake Street, but they're all in back of me because look at that, no plates. They're out here buying dope, man. Now look at this. You see this? You see the sheriffs over there? Look how many are there. Look how many sheriffs are there. 1, 2, 3, 4 squads on that side. Right? That might be an undercover, that Equinox or whatever that is there. There's at least 1, 2, 3, 4 squads. Then you got these guys here. You got a whole van load of them. That's 5, 6, 7, right? You got 6, 7. Now look across the street. They're doing drugs right there. They're doing drugs right there. Those guys are doing drugs, man. They're handing it off. Right? See that there? You can say, oh, how do you know? Well, yeah, I don't know. What do you think they're doing over there? You think they're waiting for the bus? I don't think so. There ain't no bus stop over there. Then you got some guys over here doing something. I don't know what these guys are doing. They might be, you know, studying. Oh, man, there's more cops. Look at that. Even on the bicycles, there's cops. Look at all these cops. So we got 7 trucks. They got a squad. You got a dude a little jacked up right there. Look at this guy right here. He's a little jacked up, right? You got all kinds of stuff going on here. Look at this. Man, somebody really wants to win his re-election, doesn't he? So there's a guy sitting down over there. I don't know what he's doing. He might be waiting for the bus, right? You never know. They might be waiting for the bus. They might be doing Bible study or something. Hey, those guys. You think those guys are waiting for the bus there? I don't think they are. So you got all those squads there, right? And yet you got people hanging around, right? See that there? SubX.News. There you go. No matter how many cops you got, it don't stop nothing. That's the point of the video there. They're just for show. That's why he needs the $100 million. Did you just see that there? Why would you need $100 million if you had that many cops on scene? They had 7 vehicles from the county sheriffs, had 4 bicycle cops, and you still need $100 million for what? No matter how many cops you got, if you don't let them do their job, ain't nothing gonna change. Lake and Pulaski, 6:20 p.m. June 22nd, 2026. You just seen it. How many cops did you count there? Who can count that? I can't even count that high. I don't got that many feet and toes, right? You just seen all of those cops, right? And what do you see? They're doing drugs right in front of them. So why? What'd you see the cops do over on the Bloomer Chocolate Factory? Did they make the guy clean it up? Did they give him a ticket for littering? That guy oh, this is a dead end. That guy littered. Isn't there like a fine for littering? They didn't even give him a ticket. The guy said he did that. I watched him. He told the cops. I watched him. What they do? They laughed at the cop. They came to tell me some bullshit, and they let the guy walk away. They could have given him a ticket. Said, hey, you did that littering. Clean that stuff. See, in the old days, the cop would have said, clean that shit up. What did these cops do? 2 cops. They didn't do nothing. They've spent more time between me and the person who called the cops than talking to him and say, clean your crap up. They didn't tell him to clean his crap up, did they? They didn't, did they? Did you know that was the whole moral of that thing over there by this Plains? They didn't do nothing. They told him to move on and left his trash there. That's what they did. That's how our police operate today, because they're DEI hires. They think the criminal is the victim, and they think if you call the cops, you're the perpetrator, because you're what? Criminalizing the criminal. Everybody understands that. That's, remember what Brandon Johnson said? Don't demonize, right? So if you call the police on a drug addict, If you call the police on a homeless person or anybody else that you think might be doing some crimes, you are the criminal. Because why? You're criminalizing the criminal. You're making them look bad. And that's not the philosophy of Brandon Johnson, right? Right? Brandon Johnson's philosophy is what? Don't criminalize. He said that his first, before he got into office. He was there that May when they were trashing downtown, right? Think about what I'm saying. If you call the police on somebody, you are the criminal. Why? Because you're criminalizing the person. Remember the famous line, don't demonize the children that tear up downtown? Remember that? That was Brandon Johnson when they were tearing up down. I think a kid got murdered that time over there by Canal Street in Roosevelt. They had a whole bunch of stuff going on over there, right? Let's do some radio calls, figure out where we're at, all right? I think I missed a few, right? Oh, there was some long one there. Let's listen to some radio calls.
$7-388.
That's what we said. School line in Cumberland.
Your number is going to be 10178 10178.
Lincoln.
7383 Lincoln.
Okay, I'm for lunch at 225 East Chicago.
10183 10183.
3211.
211.
Sent you a message about a flat tire. I just got changed out on Wentworth.
I am not at 101, so probably went to my friend. Give me a second.
383 Charlie.
7383 Charlie.
Can we take our dirty at Jackson and Halstead, please?
You can. Your number is 10191 10191. 3211 should see it on the phone.
Alright, 99.
There you go.
94 Charlie.
No.
Charlie, can I...
Mizidor. First of all, they're not going to get 100 million. They might get, what? If they get 10 million, they'll be happy. Trust me, they ask for 100 million, they might get 10 million, they might get 50 million, they might get 20 million, they might get 70 million. We'll see what happens. That is money to get reelected. That's the money for Brandon Johnson to get reelected. He doesn't have the money to get reelected. They had that set up. If something comes up, we're going to set this up. And look, it doesn't matter it's anti-gun. It would be anti-domestic violence. It would be anti-boating accident. They'd make up whatever would happen just to get the money. This is by preachers. Everybody knows preachers are used to win elections, right? That's what this is for Brandon Johnson to win the election. It's a slush fund for his election campaign.
7394 boy.
That's what it's for. It has nothing to do with violence. Nothing to do with violence.
10255.
They say it's to do with violence, but it has nothing to do with violence.
328 Citywide, get in progress. 7345 South. Hezzy 7345 South. Hezzy, see complaint regarding ongoing problem with their neighbors. Neighbors placed her daughter's tires and is threatening her. Lots of commotion in the background. No further. Zone 6 station clear. This is Scratchy. 7383 Henry. 3 Mary. I get a number of Mary. Go ahead. 10280. 10280.
285
8580.
My number for 69 in the red line.
Your number is 10310 10310.
622 units of 6 citywide. Battery in progress, 80 seconds has been seen. Solid assault, 5 male black, female black fighting outside. No weapons. District 6 is on their radio, please.
383 Adam.
83 Adam.
How's your lunch, 90% Western?
You said lunch, 95 West? 10320 10320.
Quite a boy is with us.
Oh, local news. I forgot. You want to see what the messaging is, right?
Terry Keshner, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
City leaders celebrated the completion of a long-awaited reconstruction project today. 35th Ward Alderman Anthony Quezada talks about the completed Logan Square redesign and Milwaukee Avenue streetscape project.
This project created nearly an acre of accessible public space, including La Placita, right on former Kedzie Avenue, a Latin American-inspired plaza, and the Milwaukee Avenue Promenade. It has improved safety for pedestrians, cyclists, and motorists.
The mayor's office says this is just the latest Logan Square investment, and construction will soon begin on the Logan Square CTA Blue Line Station rehab project. New efforts are underway to clear the name of the man convicted in one of Illinois' most infamous murder cases.
Attorneys for Chester Uyghur are asking Governor Pritzker to grant a posthumous pardon nearly a year after the convicted Starved Rock killer died at the age of 86. Uyghur confessed to the 1960 killings of 3 women at Starved Rock State Park, but was only convicted in one of those murders. He later claimed the confession was coerced and maintained his innocence for decades. His attorney now argues the killings were part of a murder-for-hire plot and has filed a petition with the Illinois Prisoner Review Board seeking to clear Uyghur's name. Rachel Pearson, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
President Trump loomed large over talks in Switzerland with Iranian officials, even though he wasn't actually there.
From Camp David, the president fired off social media comments that offended the Iranians.
They did threaten to walk out, or at least there were social media threats that they would walk out.
But Vice President Vance pushed back against thoughts the president's threats complicated the talks.
No, they didn't throw a wrench in the system.
Adding, he told the Iranians their own statements were the issue.
When you guys engage in what us millennials might call trash talk, you can't expect the President of the United States not to respond and not to correct the record.
Sagar Meghani, Washington.
We'll talk about low gas prices up next. It's 6:34.
Did you know that 1 in 4 men over 40 have low testosterone? But 100% of them can get it all back and feel like themselves again at Synergenics. They work to tailor their TRT plans to every man to get his levels back to where they need to be. So every patient can feel great, look great, and live their best lives. They can help you get your energy, focus, and drive back. They even work with most major insurance providers. So head to Synergenics.com and book your free testosterone test. That's Synergenics.com.
Every neighborhood has its own story, and at Grandview Homes, we know them all. We've bought thousands of properties right here in the communities we're proud to call home. Our management team averages over 20 years of experience.
They mentioned Little Village killing today.
How to make selling your home as smooth as possible.
All right, there was a Little Village homicide today. I posted it, right? Well, it's just non-stop, man. It's non-stop. It's not. It's
For all the things you have to do.
It's out of hand right now, the violence.
Take you there. Because you had just one more 3 rounds ago. Because the 5 a.m.
Where do you guys want to go? Maybe go this way, do a little circle tour here in on Madison Avenue.
Times. And because parking downtown is...
Let's go see what's going on here. We haven't been here in the daytime in a while, so let's go check this area out.
There are drivers in your area. Uber. Request a ride today. Wait time varies. Terms and conditions apply. See
Uncle Remus. That's enough of that. That's just some radio calls, right? That's just some what's going on in the crime news, right?
Yeah, please. 10255 10255. Freedom and 8 Citywide in progress 7345 South Kedzie, 7345 South Kedzie. Seek a complaint regarding ongoing problem with their neighbors. Neighbors placed her daughter's tires and is threatening her. Lots of commotion in the background. No further. Zone 6 station clear.
There you go, man. You got girls working out here, right?
7383 Henry. 3 Mary. I get a number of Mary.
You got girls working out here. See that?
10280. 10280.
What's going on? Is it the end of the month or something? They're out of money or something, right? There's another one that's 1-2, right?
8580.
Savannah number 69 in the red line.
Your number is 10310, 10310.
Girls are working out here, huh?
Citywide. Battery in progress, 80 seconds have been sent. Call it all 5 male black, female black fighting outside. No weapons. District 6 is on a radio, please.
383 Adam.
83 Adam.
How's your lunch, 95th and Western?
You said lunch, 75 at West? 10320, 10320.
Quite a boy is with us.
Alright, boy's gonna get a different number. His number is gonna be...
Oh man, that place is packed.
It's gonna be 10326, 10326.
They do intravenous drugs over there. See, there's white people going there. Look at that. See the white people over there? I don't know if they're going to stop and get the drugs or not, but you see that over there? That drug's over there. They do intravenous drugs over there. Right there. I don't know, man. You don't walk around this neighborhood like that. Yeah, they're buying. Those white people or Hispanics are buying. You see that there? See how they just stopped there on the corner? They're picking some stuff up. There you go, man. See that? See the white person went in to buy? There, man. That's an open-air drug market right there, right? There you go.
10351, 10351.
White people. You see the white? The three whites walk up? You just seen that go down, right? There you go, man. Open-air drug dealing. So how many sheriffs did you see at the train station? How many bike cops? And you just seen an open-air drug dealing right here, right in front of you. You just seen it on the radio. And not on the radio, on the TV. Look, they're doing whatever they're doing. I ain't a cop, but you just seen it. All of us seen it. Yet the cops ain't nowhere around. And then somebody gets shot, somebody ODs. Well, they hide the ODs. Everybody knows the overdoses are hidden. Somebody gets shot, something happens, and they say, oh, yeah, it's blah, 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 something, right? Like, what? You just seen it. Everybody just seen that on our TV show, right? You just seen the open-air drug thing. It's right there, right in front of you. Why aren't the cops there? Why aren't they doing something about that? Because they allow it to happen. Why? So when it happens, then they come up and say, I need $100 million. You want me to fix that? You want me to fix that? I need $100 million. Like, wait. Don't we have a budget for that? Don't we have police for that? Don't we have social workers for that? Don't we have everything in place? Hey, wait up. Wait. Let me remember this. Brandon Johnson's been in power for 3 years. So are you saying all of a sudden you need some other thing? All of a sudden, a year before your election, you need something else. Oh, no, yeah, we know what you need. You need money for your election bid because you need the money from the city so you can pay the preachers so they can pay the people on the street. Say, look, you see, Brandon gave you some money, so you make sure you vote for him. Hey, but it's still bad out here. We still don't have stores. The Walgreens left. You know, the racist Walgreens. Remember racist Walgreens? They left. We don't have no pharmacies. We don't have no stores, and people are still getting shot. He goes, but look. He just gave us $100 million. So we're going to vote for him. And then if some more people die, we're going to ask for some more money. See how this is working? That's the nastiness. I might need to interview one of them. You seen that, Sal, right? Or what? The girls? No, I ain't interviewing the girls. I don't want to get in trouble with the pimps. The pimps are rough out here, man. And there's little kids out here. There's little migrant kids out here. Let's see, what was this call here, huh?
I got a Frank unit coming in.
Can we get the VIN numbers for the 53rd and Red Lawn?
The Wellness Center. See the Wellness Center here?
All I heard was Frank.
Remember the Wellness Center? We were out here before. Remember that? What do you think those guys are doing out there? This is the Wellness Center where rich people come. They want to gentrify the West Side. The last time I was here about a month ago, that dude's jacked up with the red hat. Don't you see him there? The last time I was here, they said I'm a nasty man for showing drug dealers or drug addicts, and and another guy said, no, they're not really drug dealers or drug addicts. These are just people. I said, well, why aren't they inside? And they wouldn't answer. And they said, you must be a racist. I said, racist? How am I a racist? We're at Kildare and Madison. This is the Wellness Center. Sankafu. Look it up. Look at this. Look at it. Look at that. They spent $56 million minimum here. $56 million. It's a wellness center to help the West Side. How come they ain't helping those guys right there? And there's the guys on a barbecue right down the street. Those guys are hanging over there. They don't want to be associated with this scam. This is a scam operation here. That's what this is. This is a scam operation. This place steals money from the tax dollars. This is our learning center right here. This is Chicago's Learning Center.
Number 279, see red line.
Right there. What do you think they're doing there? What do you think they're doing there, huh? What do you think they're doing there, huh? What do you think those guys are doing? Think they're waiting for the bus? This is Chicago's learning centers. They're called wellness centers, and they're run by NGOs. That's the name they use to launder money in Chicago for groups in disadvantaged neighborhoods to pretend they're helping. This is a wellness center. You see all those names there. It's supposed to be helping the community. We're on the west side. We're on Madison and Kildare where there's a lot of drug use. You see the door? That's the entrance there, right? It's supposed to help the community. And then you got the guys right there. They're not waiting for the bus. You see the bus just passed by here? Well, let me show you. The bus just passed by here. And those guys are doing something there on that ledge there. You see that there? They hang out and do drugs right there on that ledge. They got a security camera right above those guys. You see the security camera? There's a security camera right there. It's a wellness center. Look them up. They got $56 million to build this place. What do you think it's for? It's to help the community or to help the gentrifiers and the people, the NGOs that want a salary to say they are helping people? They ain't helping these guys, are they? A brand new building. Why would you let people hang out like that in front of your building? You think that's cool? They're doing whatever they're doing there. See that there? And right down the street, there's I think that's a closed down liquor store. They don't hang here because they're doing their thing down there, the barbecue. They don't associate with this place because some people in these areas, they know what this stuff is. These are the people that actually harm the neighborhood. This building harms the neighborhood because they took $56 million and they're not using it to help the neighborhood. They're using it to help themselves. That's what you're watching. Wellness centers are the learning centers in Chicago. Look them up. Look them up. This place has 5 or 6 different names. I've been searching these things. They do shell companies for these things to hide the millions that they use up here to pay themselves salaries. SubX.News on the spot reporting. 6:44 p.m. It's June 22nd, 2026. Kildare and Madison. Look it up. It's the Sankofu Village. Look up how much they spend here. Look it up. Yeah, these are our learning centers. Wellness centers are Chicago's learning centers. This place is $56 million here, and they do drugs right on the street corner, right here. 6:40 p.m., June 22nd, 2026. What's that guy doing, man? What do you think he's doing there, everybody? What do you think he's doing there, Sal? Sal, what do you think he's doing? What does he look like he's doing? What do you guys think? It's a wellness center. There's a video camera. The video camera's right there. He's right underneath the video camera. Imagine you sitting there and watch this while you're getting a salary. See the white chick over there? See the white girl buying drugs there?
Hey, Adam. Justin Parkey, I know here, please. Your number is 10519 10519.
That guy's trying to get in there, right? Think that guy's jacked up? Think those dudes are jacked up? What do you guys think? What do you think's going on over there? Oh, you're so mean, John. You're talking nasty. Well, I ain't talking nasty. I'm just saying what I see. I don't think those guys are here for, well, there's the security guard coming out here. Maybe she's watching my live stream. Let's see what happens here. What do you think happens? Oh, there she goes. She's chasing them away.
7-3, Charlie.
Oh, man, security just passes them up. Look at that. She's dancing with him. Oh, man, look at that. What is she saying? God, look at that dude. They're picking the sidewalk. Look at that guy. Right in front of her. Look at that stuff. Doing drugs right in front of her. She just passes him by. Look at that. Pretty wild, ain't it? You're watching this live. He's stretching his back. Look at Sal. Look at her. Look at her. There's a security guard right there, man. She ain't gonna help him, right? There you go. She's going right back in. Look at that. Should tell me, oh, get out of here. Because somebody probably sent them a message that said Kugler's doing a live video on your asses. Salo, what's up, my brother? All right, we're gonna go ride down a little bit here, and let's see where we're going next. I'm almost done. I gotta get to someplace today. I got an appointment, so let's get out of here. Right? Let's go. Let's get out of here, right? Let's go. I showed you there's Tesla chargers back here. I don't bother those guys. Those guys are having a barbecue there, man. He's looking for ants. Look at Miss Zedor. You're funny, Miss Zedor. That was kind of funny. He's an ant hunter, huh? Hunting ants. I didn't even know that was a sport. There you go, man. There you go. They're hanging out here because this is closed here. They're all right. They're having a barbecue. At least they're not by a school. They're not by a park. They're by a liquor store, man. Look at that guy, man. He's doing something there. He's dancing around, man. Touching his butt, man. I know that guy over there. Pretty wild, huh? West Side. That's where we're at. Wellness Center. Funny, ain't it? Kind of sad. Now, what do you think? That's our money. That comes through the government. They didn't come up with that $59 million on their own. Come on. That came from us. That's our money. And they're supposed to be wellness, and they're not taking care of the neighborhood, right? There you go. There's a white dude all jacked up right there, man. I showed you the 3 white people down over at the other spot, right? I showed you the other white people down on, what was that, Pulaski, right? Oh, man, look at that. I like that, right? I like that up there, that sign there. Look at that one there. That's pretty cool. I like that right there. That's pretty cool right there. All right, let's get out. Oh, man, I almost got an accident there. That's a migrant there. Oh, man, there's a lot of YNs over there. You don't want to go and get no shrimp today, man. You might get shrimped out. They're all right, those young people. Oh, man, this is wild. Oh, man, wait till you see this one here, man. Holy smokes. Man, it's wild here, man. There was a guy masturbating here. We had that live on video. He was masturbating right there by the library entrance. You gotta watch out, because you know people do know my truck, right? They say, that's SubX right there, man. There's a few dudes right here, but you're gonna see on the other side. Watch. There's a couple of guys here. They usually do hookers on this side. This is where all the hookers hang out, on this side. We're coming up to Springfield, but we're not gonna pass through Springfield up to Madison. I call that death row there. It's a very dangerous place there. Extremely dangerous. Be careful up here. Don't fool around up here, man. Nah. Don't do that, man. Yeah, don't fool around.
7310.
Well, let me get his number. 79
So we're on Springfield right now. And Wilcox.
10588.
Right here, a lot of people die on this street. Right here, this stretch, lots of people have died. A lot. I know them personally. I not personally know them, but I know of the cases. Since I've been doing this, I think 3 or 4 maybe, or 5, right here in this little stretch. That's not including a little down the road. I'm just talking about right in this little area right here. 3, 4, 5 people have died right in this little section here. Look it up. I call that death row. That's a very dangerous area in this city, right there. Don't fool around over there. Alrighty. Let's keep moving. You're gonna see this one right here. It's another open air market. Look, they're doing what they're doing, but what's the city doing about this? Because again, what I say, this leads to things, right? And whatever the person's running this, they run it. That's not my business. My business is what happens because this is allowed to happen. You see that there? See that there? Look at that. That dude's jacked up. Did you see him there? Oh. It's jacked up out there, man. It's totally jacked up, man. It's totally jacked up. And there's little kids around there. There's all kinds of stuff out here, man. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. Don't fool around here, man. Don't fool around over here. It is what it is. Again, you've seen all those cops running around like, okay, I call them the Keystone cops. You know, running around pretending they're doing stuff, man. And you just seen, how many of these spots have I showed you today already? You just seen the guy down by the Bloomer Chocolate Factory. They didn't do nothing with that guy. He left his trash there and walked away screaming at people. He didn't even get a ticket, right? I don't know. You've seen it live, right? How many of these spots have you seen today? How many cops have you seen? And where did you see the cops? Have you seen the cops around here? Why? They're scared of these places. Why? The cop comes here. You know what these guys tell him? You know what? This guy that runs that spot right there will tell the cop, get the fuck out of here. That's what they tell the cop. Get the fuck out of here. That's what these guys tell them. Whether it's a black area, whether it's a Hispanic area, even white areas, they'll do that. They tell them to get out. Don't be here. That's how these guys run their place. This is a business. Right? Maybe it's that time of the month already. I don't know. Yeah, it is. It's the time of the month because why? It's going to be the first of the month. So now you give people free drugs. So when their checks come in next week, right? Then what happens? You got their checks, right? See how it works? I didn't realize that because I'm running around and watching all the drug dealing. I'm like, oh, what is the time around? It's that time of the month.
Number 4, Parker Lake.
10621. 106.
Alright, where's Sal at? Where you at, Sal? There's a white chick running around here, right? They got all kinds of races out here, man. Yes, they do. You're right, Alexis. There ain't no discussion about that. So what you do, if you know that, look, I've always said this. I don't condone crime. I don't condone any of that stuff. I've never been in a gang. Period. There's a whole drug camp over there. Remember, we've seen the drug camp over here. There's one over there in the woods. What you do, you can't solve crime. That don't mean you have to let crime happen, but you manage crime. And you don't even make deals with these people, right? There you go, man. There's all kinds of weird stuff happening here, right? What's going on? I see 3, 4 chicks over here. See that there? Oh, what's going on, man? You got a bunch of people hanging around. Oh, I think that's the drug tents over there. See that there? See the drug tents? And the hooker tents? Those are hooker and drug tents over there. Remember we seen that white chick here last? That was Sal's girlfriend last week. So this is to Alexis' point. You don't concede. You don't say, oh, I ain't doing nothing. And you don't even make deals with these guys, but you manage it, right? And you say, look, you ain't doing this on street corners. You ain't doing it by schools. And if we see you here, we're going to lock you up. If I see you in public, I'm going to lock you. It's like me and my filming. People say, oh, you're filming us. Man, you're in public, bro. You're on a street corner, man. You're not even hiding it. saying it's good or bad. I mean, I don't think you should be dealing drugs on a street corner. I think it's dangerous, especially with this new stuff. We don't know what... I showed you guys videos downtown where they were blowing the meth smoke into people's faces as they walk past. There's videos of it. I got them on there. Look up Plymouth and Van Buren. They were blowing the meth smoke into people's faces as they walked by. So you don't know what they're blowing in your face. That's not weed anymore that you smell weed. You might be getting super chemicals in you. Look, there's a cop right there coming. You think they're going to go bust those people? Think they're going to do it? You want me to follow those cops? There's the cops right behind me. Did you just see? I showed you the tent city over there. They're not going to go do nothing about it. So whatever. The point I'm trying to make here now is this. Is if you understand you're not getting rid of it, then you got to manage it. And then you tell them, if you're out here, I'm going to lock you up. Period. If you're on a milk crate in front of the 7-Eleven, what did we see today? 7 dudes in front of the 7-Eleven in downtown Chicago. 7. What are they doing? Well, they have the right to. Nah, you don't have the right to be on a commercial street with a milk crate, man. You ain't got those rights, man. There ain't no right that gives you that right to do that, man. That's beyond loitering. That's harassing a business. And you're blocking the public way. So the point I'm trying to make here is this. So you say you're going to be here, you're going to get locked up. And you keep moving forward. Instead, what happens? They lock up reporters. They lock up old guys that are throwing dice. They get dudes that are drinking. Right? They don't stop the crime. What they do is they pretend they are. Then they ask for $100 million when a mass shooting happens. That could have been prevented. I showed you guys the video. You guys need to watch my video on that one. There was a park across the street. There's a park right across the street. If they would have had the party in the park, there you go, man, right there, right? There you go, right? So, there you go, man. There's another chick right there. See that there? There's another one, right? So that's 2 there. So they're out here hustling for me. There's another one there, right? What are you? I don't know. What are you? You know what? See you later. I don't like you, man. Bye. What are you? There you go. Bye. There you go. There's another chick there, right? What are you? Why are you on my page? Get lost. Go find your news somewhere else. There you go, man. Be safe, young lady. SubX.News. Be safe. Be safe. There you go. There's another. I mean, there's a lot out here today. Now, if you ask a stupid question like, who are you, then you're off my page. All right, 7 o'clock. There you go. There's another chick working there, right? That's a girl right there. There you go. See that there? Yeah, you seen that, so. There's another one just dropped. Oh man, look at that one there. She just got dropped out. She's naked there, right? That one's naked there, man. She doesn't have no clothes on there. And this one's that way, right? There we go. Let's get out of here, right? That was pretty wild there. That was pretty wild there. Like I said, I don't know how those girls do it. 7 o'clock news. SubX.News, bringing it to you live. Oh, I need to get rid of that. There's some kind of a tent there. Never been down this way. I guess this is where they hang out, maybe. They got some stuff going on there.
Firing shots at close range. For nearly 3 hours, authorities urging residents to shelter in place. Police confirming a civilian and a police officer killed, a second officer wounded. Investigators confirming the lone gunman was also killed.
UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer announced his resignation this morning. Starmer, who returned the Labour Party to power for the first time in more than a decade, says he's proud of his short track record. ABC's James Longman.
What next? Well, he remains Prime Minister today, and he will be Prime Minister for the next few weeks because
didn't I tell you he would resign? I told you guys that. There's another girl right there.
In July, all eyes will be on Andy Burnham, the Labour MP now this afternoon. He will be sworn in as the new Labour MP for Makersfield.
Merlin Duck, clad in his signature green Mexico jersey, has become that country's official World Cup mascot because of his cuteness and popularity, so much so he overshadowed the Mexican president earlier today. We're listening to ABC News.
There you go. Alrighty, we're gonna ride and listen to the rest of the news, and that'll be it for our broadcast, the early broadcast. I got some stuff I gotta work on today, alright? Appreciate you watching. Let's say a prayer for everybody today, especially those girls out there hustling to make some money. That's all I gotta say. And I hope they stay safe. What are you? Don't ask silly questions on my page. We're going to listen to a little bit of the local and then we'll be done.
See if you're a candidate for the Los Angeles test. Because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll finish the news off, right? Thanks for everybody watching. I appreciate you. Hope you've seen a bunch of stuff. Sun comes up, we'll go back live or we'll post it, alright? But I need to do something today.
It's 7:03 on Monday, June 22nd, 2026. Good evening. I'm Haley Hansen. Thanks for jumpstarting your week with us. It's 63 degrees along the lakefront under mostly clear skies. We're going to get into the mid-50s overnight. Another nice day tomorrow, a high up to 74 with a mix of sun and some clouds. Partly cloudy by nightfall with temps in the 60s. Wednesday, however, does feature another chance for rain in the afternoon with the potential for hail and gusty winds. We're going to get you the full details in the AccuWeather 5-day forecast coming up at 7:15. But first, our top local story here on News Radio WBBM. Logan Square residents might notice some new improvements to Milwaukee Avenue following the completion of a major redesign and streetscape project. WBBM's Carolina Garibay has more.
Local elected officials joined Logan Square community members for a ribbon-cutting celebration of a new public space at Milwaukee Avenue. 45th Ward Alderman Anthony Casada says the project transforms Milwaukee Avenue from Belmont Avenue to Logan Square.
This project created nearly an acre of accessible public space, including La Placita, right on former Kedzie Avenue, a Latin American-inspired plaza, and the Milwaukee Avenue Promenade. It has improved safety for pedestrians, cyclists, and motorists.
Construction of the redesign started in the spring of 2024. Chicago Department of Transportation Commissioner William Cheeks thanked residents and businesses for their patience throughout the construction process.
Our responsibility is not just to maintain infrastructure, but build infrastructure that lasts. The improvements completed here will serve residents, businesses, and visitors for decades to come.
Carolina Garibay, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Chicago police are warning residents of the South Shore neighborhood about a recent series of sexual assaults and abuse incidents. The first attack occurred around 6 a.m. June 13th on East 79th Street. The second happened 8 p.m. on June 15th on South Shore Drive. Both times, female victims were attacked from behind and groped by the offender. If you have information about either one of those incidents, please contact Area 2 detectives. There's more trouble for a local hospital.
West Suburban Medical Center in Oak Park is already closed. Now a report in the Sun-Times says ComEd is warning that electricity will be turned off July 8th if West Suburban's owners don't make payments. West Suburban shut down in March because of troubles with its billing system. Some clinics then reopened, but the Village of Oak Park tells WBBM the whole building was then shut down June 11th because none of the 28 elevators worked. The Sun-Times reports the issue of electricity being turned off arose during a court hearing in the legal battle between West Suburban's two owners. Terry Keshner, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
It's 7:06. Beginning today, a state panel that's no stranger to criticism has a fresh look.
It marks the first day on the job for 4 new members of the Illinois Prisoner Review Board. 13-person board made up of Governor Pritzker appointees handles early release decisions. Among the new additions, Stephanie Love Patterson, a Chicago domestic violence advocate who was grilled by lawmakers at confirmation hearings last month, specifically for her time as CEO of the National Network to End Domestic Violence. Love Patterson was fired from that role after just over a year for what she called a governance dispute. One lawmaker called her, quote, among the worst I've ever been part of interviewing. A former Sangamon County Assistant State's Attorney and a former downstate detective also joined the board, which underwent major changes after granting the 2024 early release of Crescetti Brand, who was later convicted of attacking his pregnant former girlfriend and killing her son, 11-year-old Jaden Perkins. Andy Day, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
An explosion at a Northwest Illinois mobile home community sent one person to the hospital and forced hundreds of residents from their homes.
Hundreds of people are expected to return home after a gas emergency prompted a mass evacuation in Dixon. Police say an explosion inside a manufactured home around 6 a.m. seriously injured one person, and as crews investigated, elevated gas levels led authorities to evacuate all 106 homes in the Chateau Estates community, affecting an estimated 300 to 400 residents. The shelter was opened at Reagan Middle School while Nicor Gas worked to make sure the area was safe. The cause of the explosion remains under investigation. Rachel Pearson, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Take WBBM News Radio with you all day, every day. Get the latest news, traffic, weather, and the stories Chicago counts on. Stream anytime.
Alrighty, it's 7:07 p.m. I thank everybody for watching. That'll be the end of our broadcast. We might go out, we might not go out. We'll post what we see, what we hear. We'll see how it goes. We might do a sunset. I don't know yet, depending on what I need to get done tonight. But I will appreciate everybody watching. I hope you've seen something. Don't forget, take what I do. You like it or you don't like it, use it. You want to create change, you want to do whatever you want with it. If you make money with my stuff, send me a little change, all right? That's all I got to say. That's why we don't have copyrights, none of that stuff on our stuff, right? What we want is change. That's what we do. That's why I do this. I want things to be better for where we live. So what? When my grandkids grow up in Chicago, they have a nice place. They don't have to worry about going to a park where there's drug addicts. They don't have to worry about being molested in a school because they're hiring unqualified people in the school system. And we want a city that's run by a competent person that's not stealing from us and saying he needs $100 million for a department of guns. I don't want that. So we don't need that. We don't deserve that. We worked hard all our lives. We don't need a guy like that. We don't need a woman like that, or whoever else wants to be our mayor. We need to start setting standards of who we get in the office here. And if there's somebody that's not too competent, we got to make sure that we vote for the people that can at least know that they won't be as bad as the guy we just had in office. All right. So take it easy. Have a good night. It's 7:09 p.m. It's June 22nd, 2026. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. SubX signing off.